Alright, I just made us live.
Bet. Hey guys, welcome on in.
That's terrifying.
Good.
Come on in. That certainly makes me
Come
want to watch
on
a
in,
live stream right
boy.
there.
Sit on down
Yeah.
and tell me about yourself. Oh, it says we're not
Yeah.
live. Oh, it says I might have an issue.
Oh no.
No, we're live.
Thank
Okay,
God.
there we go.
I was like, if I have an issue, it's because my internet's messed up, not because my computer.
That's what they all say.
See, it looks so much better with all of our
No, it
faces like
does.
this. Like, we can
Absolutely.
actually see every one of us. And we can make Owlbear Radio take up the whole background, and we've got a lot of space to work with. I think that's going to be good. Oh, well, hello!
Kira, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Indeed, it is. Welcome back. We're back to throwing down some D&D like the olden days.
Steven, say something real quick. Okay.
Ooh, so sensual.
Uh, audio levels sound great. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing all right. Let's play some D&D. That'll hopefully make it better.
Oof. I just got the notification that the dice room is rolled for initiative.
Yeah, I just got that too.
Let me refresh the page and see if our viewer count goes up. Because I've got the stream open in a different tab. So
Oh yeah, so do I need to open it in a different tab to be counted as a viewer because I'm in backstage?
I do believe so.
We'll see if I do that. We'll see if I pad our viewer count or if I'll just leave it where it is.
Pad the viewer count. Pad the viewer count, please, for the love of all things holy. All right.
I'm about to get some food. Let's go.
This is Brett grabbing food for you.
That's so exciting. Um, yeah, you probably do have to open up in Edge because you have to be in Chrome for guest star to work, right?
Oh gosh.
There'll be no Microsoft Edge usage in my house. It's an unholy program, not ordained by God.
I'm getting so my snack for the night is these little cheese squares. By God, they're good.
Oh yeah,
So,
Chaps and I
I
already
can't
had
hear
an
y'all
intricate
right now.
conversation about
Y'all
our
not-
love for cubed cheese. Love for cubed cheese.
What were
Wait a
you saying,
second.
Steven? What? What's up?
Steven? Sounded like what he was saying before.
Can you hear us now?
Steven?
Steven? Steven?
Oh, what?
He can't hear us.
No, I can
Welcome
hear
to
you
the
now.
dice room where he
No
can.
good there,
Oh,
Stevie Wonder? Or...
Yeah, no. So I'm not certain what happened, but somehow my desktop audio got muted,
Mm.
and so then everything got muted because
it
y'all's
was
audio was
probably.
coming through my desktop.
It was because you went into streamer mode.
No, I've been in streamer mode.
Oh, what? But we're still talking in Discord, so I have no idea. That's weird.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again, but...
Hopefully, we just have to keep a little watch on that. So, if our lovely mod would tell us if something was up with our audio, that'd be great.
Yeah, if we ever become completely quiet for minutes on end, please let us know.
If you ever hear, if you ever hear me stop talking,
yeah, you'll know. If you don't hear Chaps talk for more than like 10 seconds, I'd probably hop into the stream real quick and and take a look. All right. Well,
I'm
we're
not
nearly
that
at
bad.
7. You're not. But you started the joke, so I was gonna
Yeah.
participate.
All right, it is 7 o'clock, and everyone knows what that means. It's time to roll for initiative and get on in the dice room. Your favorite TTRPG show. Leave job one, okay, gotcha. A few updates real quick. We now have a YouTube channel. So any VODs from previous streams as of today? Sorry, I started one without telling Steven. But it's a lot easier to upload VODs to YouTube than it is to like have everything edited for Spotify. So that's what will be the case from here on out. Um, you can find all of our videos on demand, our YouTube channel, which of course is linked in our description. That's right. We say VODs because we're fancy, Dice
You
Room.
understand the technical terminology of the live stream environment? It's a VOD.
Exactly. As you can see, we look a little different. We've been working on things, and we're continuing to make the Dice Room look better and better every single day. But yeah, make sure you check out our Patreon. Make sure you join our Discord to get all of the Dice Room news all of the time without any of the back and forth banter that I do give you, fair viewers, which I understand that may be a selling point, but I'm sorry, it can't happen all the time. Sometimes you just got to read it on Discord. But yeah, without further ado, yes, if you join the Discord, you can play Apex with me and Steven anytime. Uh, but yeah, without further ado, I say we go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is, of course, Dillon Schremmer. I play Alastor, the um Asimar Oath of Vengeance Paladin.
My name's Steven, and I play Alimor, the variant Asimar cleric.
And I am Davis, and I'm currently DMing. Table is looking a bit sparse right now, but don't you worry. We have a solution in the works, so just keep an eye out. Things are getting exciting on the Dice Room, baby.
We will have another person joining us when it is dramatically relevant.
Yes, when the moment is right. So then, since it's been a little while, I figure it's time for a little bit of a recap. So last session was the heist, right? Like, it's just been so long. It's been ages.
Yes, last session was the heist where we encountered a wingless griffin.
Yeah, a little chimera. But same difference.
Chimera, yeah.
Big winged monstrous creature thing. Except griffins are cooler looking and less evil. But you
a chimera
managed
is a griffin with extra steps.
Basically, you sew on some extra heads and shit. But you managed, Dillon, to complete, like, get it to placate for a bit. It seemed like you were able to reach out to some far-flung emotion that normally the chimera has been fully drained of. But then afterward, you were instructed to take the hunter's exam in order to become a full-fledged contractor here in the city. But you have now taken the spoken portion administered by Captain Wagner, and now he's going to find a little task for you to take care of in order to prove your ability beyond what the prior accolades you've shown in the form of defeating a cleric beast. So we'll get on into it. You guys basically just finished up the written exam. You've walked out. You're going back into the kind of hub area of the Hunter's Gathering House. Captain Wagner's following behind you when Katrana, the party druid, chimes in from the back. Hey guys, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll talk to you in a little bit. See you in a minute. And he heads towards the bathroom. Captain Wagner points in the direction of it, and yeah, he says it's not. I'm not feeling too hot. I might be in there a bit. Don't wait up. And off he goes. So
it
then
happens to the best of us.
it does. So
Well,
Captain Wagner.
Make sure you wash your hands.
I'll try it if I remember to. It might get a bit messy in there, so I'll probably need to. But he heads off to the bathroom, and Captain Wagner leads you all over to one of the kind of tables set up in the kind of gathering room of the gathering house. This is where various groups of hunters come together to just share stories, engage in a bit of friendly camaraderie. Currently, there are a couple other groups sat down who you might be able to have a conversation with after Captain Wagner gives you your assignment. So he sits you guys down at a table, and is kind of going through some papers, shuffling through some of the recent reports he's had of the area to try and find something for you guys to get up to. And finally, he lands on one and, looks it over for a minute and looks back up at you guys and says, "All right, I believe I have found a task worthy of your skills. So, we've recently been receiving reports of bestial howling and scratching noises around a nearby butcher shop during the night. No one has seen what is making these noises, and no deaths have been reported thus, so this is a chance for us to clean up a problem before anyone has to die, anyone has to be injured, so it's an ideal opportunity. We are tasking you with the rather open-ended task of finding the source of this unrest and eliminating it, but do please make an effort to avoid exposing innocents to the sight of the beast. We need to maintain public unity and order, and seeing whatever malicious creature could be stalking the night does tend to foment a bit of public unrest, as it were. So then I will, he kind of pulls out a little map of the nearby streets and starts kind of doing some circling, providing you directions over to this part of the town that this butcher shop is in. And while doing so, he gets talking again. There's been a bit of a decline in beast attacks over the last few years due to the church organizing better groups and, greater amounts for defense around the exits to the ruins across the city. This has helped to prevent a lot of them, but there has been a surge in the past month or so. It seems like the beasts have been extra active as of late. The butcher shop in question is only a few blocks away, so make a left out of the gathering house and take your first left and continue for a few blocks and you should see it. And he stands up and is, unless you have any questions, I believe you are quite prepared to take this on.
So you don't have any details about the beast that you can share with us?
Not at the moment, because the creature has not been spotted. Currently, we're working with primarily in auditory reports, but, people tend to be good at recognizing the sound of howling and scratching and such.
And
So
we know
as
it's inside the butcher shop, not around, not anywhere else.
Well, seems to be in the area. It seems to be around, up, under, potentially just. We've heard varying reports, but it's all located within a few blocks of that area, and the reports are extra centralized around the butcher shop. So we consider it a priority target. I feel as though it's the best place to point you, given the relative lack of information we have on this particular sighting.
And the extra source of food for a hungry beast.
Yes, it is an inviting location for a beast to head to, what with all the meats on display.
Sounds
Man,
like a
if
great
only
place
we
to start.
that it is. If only we had a druid with us. Oh well.
Yes, to speak with animals perhaps, but many druidic types have attempted to communicate with the beasts that seem to stalk these streets, and they seem different than those that haunt other cities. They're not wild and, just simply seeking to survive. There's a strange maliciousness to the beasts that haunt Beluvia that makes them generally less approachable in terms of potentially being spoken to by those who understand Sylvan and such.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah, we did. There was that. I mean, that poor chimera was absolutely beaten half to death and almost mad by the time it was found. So
I think that particular beast is actually from out of town, brought in because chimeras are not native to this section of the world. It's a bit too cold for their climate preferences. So there is a bit of a habit amongst the Beluvian nobility of bringing in foreign creatures to serve as exotic pets and such. I believe that chimera was one such example.
mm,
As
I
pets
understand.
or as pit fighters?
A very good question. There are, of course, underground rings and such that the church tries to root out for such strange and unusual activity as exotic beast fighting, but it very well could have been on the way to one of those such rings.
Interesting. All right, so I want to take my hand, put it on Alastor, cast Vigilant Blessing, which gives him initiative or advantage on his next initiative roll. and say, well, I guess we know all we're going to. Let's get at it.
Speaking of initiative, do we want to really quickly, since we are the dice room, show off which dice we're using?
I mean,
I'm using the same dice as usual, but
Yeah,
I do.
no, I'm still using
prefer-
my metal dice.
I'm using D&D Beyond, but I have these because they're cool and pointy.
That's fair. If it's more than like 3 dice being rolled at a time, I usually just use D&D
Yeah.
Beyond for convenience. I got my friend yesterday. I was at another session and he cast lightning bolt like 3 times over the course of a session, and every time he rolled all the t6s. And God, it probably added a total of like 6 minutes of busy work to the session.
And I'm using this D20 too.
He's got the.
That's a D22.
That's a
didn't
weighted
know those
D20 actually,
existed.
because the handle of the mug prevents it from landing on some of the numbers.
Exactly, but not the 20.
Oh, is the 20 under the handle?
No, the 20 is like right next to the handle.
Oh, okay. I wonder
That's, like, right there.
if the weight of the handle causes it to be more or less likely to roll the 20.
I mean, because I can fully like just set it. That's the thing. I can set it any way I want. Like it's one of those mugs where you can like it will not spill because you can just move it wherever you need to.
I would be very careful saying something will not spill because in the next 30
Yeah, no, I
minutes,
regretted it
You're
as
tempting
soon as
fate.
I said it. But yeah, Alastor recognizing the feeling of magic passing over him. Thank you, friend. We should be on our way.
Yes, and of course, feel free to fraternize with your fellow hunters before or after this little job of yours. We've been hearing the reports for the last few weeks, and since it hasn't moved yet, I don't particularly worry that this beast is on the move. I get the feeling it might be trapped somewhere potentially, maybe locked in a cellar or something.
Interesting.
If it's locked in the cellar, is there a chance that it could potentially be another one of those exotic pets, as you called it?
There is potential for that, but who can say?
Fair enough.
Well, you will, once you find it, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, you all are free to leave. Scattered around at 3 of the other tables, there are a couple other groups of hunters currently just having drinks, seemingly having finished up whatever job they were doing for the day. Some of them are clad in cloaks with roses on the back. They seem like an interesting bunch. Then there's a group all wearing these strange white masks bearing various different types of facial features. So some are like precisely crafted to appear like a painting, like a face from a painting, or some are like the kind of monstrous features of like a tribal spirit, and others yet bearing the sneering grins you would find in some occult tome. But none of their masks possess eye holes. And the third group is all clad in scholarly robes, and they seem to be sipping this strange, thick concoction from jars.
Oh, that's 100% blood.
That sounds disgusting.
Strangely, it is actually this kind of pale color, kind of a pale yellow.
So it's pee.
They need to see a doctor.
But if it's pee, then they really need to see a doctor. That stuff is like thick.
And based off of like the masks and like the scholar robes, just from like my time with the Church of Tyr and like seeing a bunch of different like scholars and cults and stuff, do I recognize anything?
I guess make like a history, religion, or arcana check.
Feels good to be back.
When you're trying to pull from which pool of knowledge.
Right. History. I guess I'll do history to see if I feel like that one would make the most sense.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, hot dice, hot dice. That is 13. That's gonna be a 15.
So you can tell the first group based off of the kind of more like regal and traditionalist adornment of them, just off your time in Beluvia, they appear to be kind of the hunter's hunter, so to speak. They appeal to the traditionalist ways of these hunters. They seem like they were schooled in the oldest of styles. The second group with the white masks, they have a kind of a brooding aura about them, as if you know across the land there are lots of groups that are called penance knights, who basically, knights formed people who are prisoners or people who have committed sins in past transgressions and such, who are then, as a last chance for redemption, sent out to battle. It seems like these might be of a similar ilk. And the third group, they don't even look like they would be very good hunters. They look like they came straight from a college or something, but they're just sipping away on their brain fluid and having freaking
Oh,
deep
so it's
discussions.
it's brain fluid then.
Yeah, it's labeled on the side of the jar. It just says brain fluid, and it's a nasty looking thick concoction, but you don't really know what if it's like for your brain. If it's from a brain. It's currently a mystery to you.
That
But it's
just
not
that,
practiced anywhere else, from what
that
you know.
gives me like some heavy mind flayers.
Yeah, Katrana definitely would shit on company time because his boss makes $1 and he makes a dime. It's only fair.
I'm glad you caught that.
Oh, I love that song. I sang it all the time. Every time I go to the bathroom while working at Target, I'd be like singing that. But yeah, you all are free to cavort about, converse, or head straight for your job and get it done.
Wow. I say I really want to check out these scholars.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you approach their table, and they seem to be in the midst of some type of debate, though it is kind of difficult to make out what they're talking about based off of the jargon they're throwing around. So both of you make an Arcana check for me.
Right, I'm good at this.
Nice. That's a 6.
Wait, you rolled a 6?
Yeah.
I rolled a 6.
Let's go. What's your bonus?
+2.
Mine's +3.
Oh, so I still rolled better.
Yeah. Well, okay. Tough.
They're throwing around a lot of technical terms that neither of you have ever heard in your life. Like, some of it sounds like names for ingredients for something, be it like reagents for a spell or something for like a potion or something, and others sound like processing for like how to set it up to create something. Yet you can't quite seem to make out what it's all about. But as you're kind of approaching and listening to what they're to what they're saying, it seems the apparent leader of the group, made clear by his coat being white rather than the brown of the rest of his group, jolts from his seat and shouts above his squabbling underlings. Please, calm down for a minute. We have visitors. Put the debate on recess for 5 minutes, I beg of you. And they all kind of grumbling as they do, put their debate to the side for a moment in order to turn and face you guys. And he says, "Well, greetings, good friends. I am Godwin, leader of the erudite voyagers. How can an intellectual such as myself be of service to you?"
You got any of that brain juice?
Why, yes, we do, but unfortunately, I cannot supply it to outsiders. It is a trade secret of us Bergenworth scholars. But, you seem new in town. What caused you to take such an interest in our brain fluid? Most people are kind of disgusted by it in their primitive, backward-mindedness, so I'm impressed by your openness to the necessities of progress.
Well,
friend. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, if you come into this town and you're not from here, everyone's drinking blood. Why stop at blood? Why not see what else we can do to better ourselves? Just like you said, brother.
Yes, you seem to understand. You have the type of mind that would fit very well into the erudite voyages. As an aside, do you have any input on the debate we were just having? We were discussing the proper ratio of ingredients for the Polymathras potion, and since you are of such a strong mind, I was interested to hear your input.
1 second. Let me roll something real quick. Whoops, that's wrong.
Okay.
Well, of course. I know there's a couple different variations to this potion. Which one do you and your group tend to use? I mean, obviously, there's the way we do it back in the South. Are they from the South?
No, the city's up in the north, so you're
Okay.
fine.
Hmm.
The way we do it back in the South. But then, are there other different ways, other different combinations that y'all do it up in this area?
Yes, we tend to use the Sigmund brewing style in order to maximize the dissolution of the individual components into the potion. I'd be curious to hear what methodology you use down south. The differing climate and such. How does it affect the growing of the ingredients?
You use the
Well,
Freud method.
that's what I was thinking, but no, we use the more of the Tesla style of method. We
Ah,
found a way to harness electricity that helps with the mixing. The growing of each other is relatively simple. It's just as you would do it in here, just with more moderate temperatures. But the way we mix it, we tend to use electricity and therefore heat. It's not something I've seen very many places, but it's worth trying sometime.
indeed.
And
Such curious practice.
okay.
Honestly, you did a good enough job. I'm not even gonna make you roll a deception check for that. You
Well,
you you've convinced him.
okay, I rolled a dirty 20 anyways. So
Okay, so yeah, if you have fully deceived him. He is
perfect.
he thinks this is an actual brewing method, and he thinks you're like an intellectual peer in the world of simpletons and such. So while this conversation is pleasant, I'm interested to hear what brings you all to the gathering house, such a quaint pair as yourself.
Well,
Uh, yeah. What's that?
Alastor,
I'm trying to find my 20. You gotta charge it on the highest number possible.
You do. You got a
Um,
lever there, the resting position.
um, you see, we're just trying to get our hunters' licenses so that we can get closer to achieving our goals within the city.
Hmm. Well, I won't probe. Your goals are your own. So then, any questions you might have, since it seems if you're being licensed, you might be new in town. And hailing from the Prospectors Ward, I know a decent bit about the College of Bergenworth and our practices, which you'll surely run into more of my scholarly brethren if you spend a good amount of time in the city.
um, can you tell me your name again?
I am Godwin.
Godwin. Well, Godwin, I'm not certain we have anything else right now. We've been just tasked to go down to the butcher shop. There's been
And
reports.
there's been a few reports of food poisoning there.
Oh, interesting work for a hunter then. Well, you all being of the clerical and palatic sort, it would seem well fit for the task. Hopefully, you may heal these food poisoned souls and relieve them of what is ailing them.
Of course.
Thank you for your kind words. I hope we see each other again.
Yes, indeed. If I see you again, or if you ever need a recommendation to help get into the college, I'd be happy to supply one to a fellow pursuer of progress and intellect.
Fantastic. And maybe one day, we can go down south and I can show you that Tesla method
Yes, we
for
can
brewing
cook
those
up some brain
potions.
fluid together.
Absolutely.
All
Um,
right, and you depart conversation with Godwin.
I apologize for cutting you off, but something about them feels very off to me.
Him and his gang return to their debate.
I'll say something
Get
about this
once
whole
again gets
place feels
heated.
off to me.
That is exactly, which is all the more reason for us to be more careful.
Who can you trust? Who's worthy of it?
Alistair sort of nods back towards the scholars and says, in my experience, those who are the most intelligent are the ones who speak the least about it.
That's fair. That's a pretty fair point. There are some smug sons of bitches.
Um, yeah. So there was also the Penance Knights.
Yeah, they're the knights who they're the group who you most associate with penance knights. They're a relatively common practice in kingdoms across the land, and these guys seem to bear some similarity to groups you've seen in other cities.
Right. Those are the guys with the masks, right?
Yes, they're garbed in masks and these half of them wear these thick black robes, and the other half wear stark white ones.
Mm. Do you want to stop and talk to these guys too?
Be my guest. I'm in no rush.
All right. Hello there.
As you walk up and start talking, and none of them turn to look at you. They turn to look at you for a second, and then all turn inward and like form a huddle and start whispering to each other. Make a perception check.
Perception.
Don't remember what my perception.
Whew, that was almost a 1.
Nat 20.
Boom. Okay. So they seem to be able to whisper at a volume that literally like it is almost impossible to pick up through normal like auditory means. Their hearing must be superhuman or something. But you acutely focus for a moment and are able to pick up the phrase "unsullied outsiders." And other than that, they are just in tones, and it's kind of since they're all whispering at the same time. Oh well, an interesting guy has appeared in chat. They
Yeah,
it'd be hard to pick out much more than that.
I'll take care of them. Or actually, Kira, do you mind getting rid of Driverge for me?
Go to dogehype.com. Do it, guys. Everybody do it.
I love how they didn't do the hyperlink because it's blocked. That's interesting. I'm gonna do it. Doge.
But,
No, don't do it. That's how
com.
you get a friggin' virus on your computer.
Steven, I don't think Kira is in the room right now. If you don't mind blocking them.
Well, I mean, I
Send
tried.
them
I
to
can't do it.
hell.
Really? Interessante.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Alright.
Ban. Oh, it just got unbanned. How do I get rid of their thing?
It's been deleted.
Whoa, what'd I just do?
Oh,
Oh,
Kira
Kira
did it.
What did I just... That's cool as heck.
What
How
did you do?
I don't know.
It's cool as heck, though.
You've put the you've put the there we go.
How do I get off?
Alt tab, just alt tab.
No, that was so weird. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Thank you, Kira.
You know, I had it. Let me check and see how much gold I have real quick.
Oh gosh, I haven't thought about money.
Oh, I have 446 gold.
Yeah, bread is
Must be
you're
nice.
getting some decent bread.
Yeah. I would like to let me see if I have.
After they whisper for a moment, one of them once again seems to like peek up from behind the rest of the group, and his mask is styled to be that of like a statuesque appearing young man with a kind of soft smile on his face, and he like whistles over the group and says, "Hey, come here, would you? You wish to talk, don't you?"
Yes, I do.
Well, greetings. I am Headmaster Azaris of the Visages of Penance. We are a gathering of individuals who have sensed the taint beyond human sight and entered a pact of sacrifice to obtain the power to see this corruption.
In my experiences, most taints are beyond human sight.
Yes, so you understand then that there are forces beyond what we can perceive that must be stamped out for our world to be pure.
I'm sorry.
Did you say most?
Most taints are beyond human sight. Yeah.
So how
He
many have
he
you
did not
seen?
regard the double entendre there at all. He has no thoughts of that regard. He's just like, yup, you get it. You understand that how tainted this world really is.
Someone clip that. That was a good one. I don't care what y'all say.
I think it was a pretty good one. I like it.
Yes, of course. Yes, I do believe that there are quite a few evils in this world that need to be stamped out. I completely agree with you in that respect. However, the manner of stamping them out, I don't know if we'll be exactly on the same page there.
So I see you harbor some sympathies, perhaps, for the tainted, then? Believe they deserve a chance at, repentance. I can
Yes.
understand that. We ourselves are no less guilty than them. We've all borne the taint forward. We all continue to let it spread into the world. It is only through sacrifice that we can obtain the purity necessary to abstain from the taint.
You're doing it on purpose at this
Yes.
point.
Yeah, I am. But of course, now that we are free of its influence, we cannot abide to watch these malefactors continue to work within our world. There must be zero tolerance for it. Destroy it upon sight.
Destroy
What is
the
he
t-
doing in his
destroy.
soundproofed chamber? Destroy the taints on
give me
sight.
5 minutes.
Immediate and indiscriminate taint destruction.
Oh, you're not muted, Dillon. If that muted him, maybe I don't know.
I think
But
he's muted.
okay. um. So we're trying to destroy the taint to
Yeah.
prevent the taint from spreading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What if it like wants a good sunning, good tan? If we see anybody tanning their taint.
I know not to which you refer. I don't believe I've ever seen the taint do anything other than fester and corrupt within the heart of those that seek to do good. Tanning or these other such things, they have no importance to me.
Well, if there's one saying I was taught growing up, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Everyone who may be seeking to do good always has the chance to be tainted and end up anywhere but where they desire.
You seem to understand our cause. This is the sacrifice we have been forced to make. You see that taint, that corrupting element that separates the pure of heart from those who merely wear good intentions with the underlying desire for selfish or evil gain. It is impossible for most to recognize, but we paid a great price, and now we may see it. But in exchange, we can no longer see anything else. So, in essence, it would seem they have undertaken some kind of blinding ritual. They may no longer see just about anything within the physical world, but they can see the taint as it manifests within people.
Interesting.
So it seems like they taint counter. We do need a taint counter. This is as long as you're talking to Azaris, there will be many mentions of the taint because it is he has a fixation. But
Alrighty.
this taint, we can see it wriggling within the hearts of those who are corrupted by it.
All right, I'm
You
back. Sorry.
you two do not appear to bear the taint. It appears you've not been in this city long enough for it to fester within your breast.
That size is way too large.
There's a big taint counter.
What'd I miss?
Well, we're counting taints.
Yeah, you're counting taints. You learned that the what are the visages of penance seem to have undergone some kind of ritual that has blinded them physically, but allows them a sort of supernatural sight to recognize the this taint they see that separates those who are truly pure of heart and of noble intention from those who wear good intentions with, secretly self-interested or evil motivation.
Yeah, fair enough.
But they see you as unsullied. After all, you've only just arrived in this city, and it is the most tainted place on earth in their opinion, which is why they fight here at the root of the corruption.
I did take a vow of celibacy when I joined the Holy Order.
Yes, one of the many vows that has protected you from the taint.
Gosh darn it.
You're gonna have to keep updating it
Yeah, no,
until you
that
guys leave.
taint counter is going to be so annoying to keep up with.
Boy, you did that on purpose.
Um,
So do other versions of the word count, like the past tense, like if it's the adjective
no,
tainted?
it's just taint.
Yeah, because that's the only one that has any other side implication. But he, let's see, he goes on to say, so taking it that you are new in our fair city, what is your opinion of this, the holy blood?
I see it as a means to an end.
A means to what end?
An end of my own creation.
Someone just busted into my room. I couldn't even tell who it was.
Someone's busting in your room? Ew. Get them to
Sorry.
clean it up.
They got a hold of the taint.
Yeah, someone's accessing their taint right now.
38, 39.
And 40 taint. But
Y'all
that
suck.
certainly is a nice and simple way to view things. You bear no hypocritical views about using it to benefit others, where we believe the holy blood is an arbiter, a divine arbiter from the heavens beyond. It is a fragment of the paradise that awaits the just in the afterlife, giving the consumer a glimpse of what their eternity will look like. The just and good of heart are rewarded with vigor, power, and courage, and those beyond redemption are transformed into mindless, tortured beasts. Quite the fitting tool, I believe.
Alastor's gonna turn to Alimor and just go as quiet as he. Or no, he doesn't say it out loud. He just mouths it. He just mouths it. Well, I think we really must be on our way to go complete our job. It was a pleasure meeting you, I think. Until we meet again.
Yes. May you crush the taint as you find it, friend.
Oh, I always do.
Yeah, so now the only people left here you haven't talked to are the guys with the roses, the rose insignia on their cloaks. They all seem to be they have like pens and quills out and shit. They're writing and kind of brainstorming seemingly.
They're
I see.
writing
They're
love letters.
Toreador. Got it.
Yeah, they're pretty Toreador. I wrote them before I knew about the Toreador's association with the rose and such, but they are very much of that ilk.
I'd like to walk over and take 2 dice out of my bag and just in one hand put the dice down and the other hand put 5 gold down.
So you're offering them like a game of dice?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So they turn to look at the stuff you've placed on the table, and while most of them look back to continue doing what they're doing, an older gentleman, seemingly to be appears nearly 70, as evidenced by his silver gray beard, but he still seems to be of capable heart. He walks over and says, "Fancy a game of chance, then?"
Of course.
"I'm always game. Let us play. So, we each put up 5 gold. Is that the ante?"
That is the ante, unless you'd like to raise it.
"I'm always open to play for more. To me, any good gamble shouldn't be settled for anything less than 50 gold. We need to know that we're playing for fair stakes, right?"
Of course, 50 gold.
"Though, I must ask, can I hold these dice for a minute in order to feel out their equilibrium, their balancing, to know that they aren't weighed in your favor?"
Of course. Hand him the
Yeah,
dice.
hand him dice.
They're normal dice.
Okay, and he kind of, has them in his hand for a bit, weighs them, and he's like, "Yes, these feel of even weight. I can trust this for a game." So I guess, do y'all just, I don't know the rules for dice. Do y'all just, whoever rolls better, or?
Yeah, it's the game of craps. So you just both roll, and then whoever rolls better.
Okay, so I'll roll 2d6 and you roll 2d6, and
Ooh, that's gonna be hard to beat. That is
what'd you roll?
11.
Oh yeah, no, I did not beat that. I rolled 9. So yes, he says, well played, chap," and pulls out a bag of gold and starts kind of counting out gold pieces individually before sliding you a pile of 50 gold pieces.
Thank
He
you
says,
kindly.
I'd continue playing, but I set myself to a limit of only losing 50 per night if I can. I'd hate to bankrupt my friends here. We are the Dire Thorns, another hunter group operating here in the city.
Of course. It's I must admit, the only reason that I challenged you to a bit is because I've met some very fancy people in my time, and usually the best way to get them to open up is to take a bit of their money.
Well, or give them some, but both paths to the same end. You've certainly gotten me talking, though it wouldn't take much to do that. I am Altorin Duval, current leader of the Dire Thorns. We are a hunter group dedicated to preserving the old ways and commemorating the hunters that have come and gone in ages past.
Very
For
interesting.
It is upon their legacy that our methodology has evolved, you know? We've learned new and more beneficial ways of hunting beasts to take down more impressive quarries, and, I believe that many of the people in this city have forgotten these ancient lessons that have been passed down through these times. It seems as though more and more people are losing heart, losing faith in what the old hunters stood for.
Well, in honor of old time's sake, and just for a little bit of conversation, what is your most impressive prey?
Our most impressive prey. Well, we were able to fell a good 3 scourge beasts in under an hour, but it demanded the absolute most of my men. We lost a good few that night.
I have
And
no
you all
doubt.
have not yet encountered a scourge beast, but he goes on to describe you can envision the typical lycanthrope as encountered across most of the world, the werewolf. They're like that, but entirely divorced from any remaining semblance of humanity, you know? There's no longer that glimmer beneath their eye that shows that there is a man beneath all that fur. They are fully lost to whatever has taken them.
What was that creature that we beat in like the second episode?
I mean, y'all fought what, like the weird tentacled one you fought in like the underground,
No,
Mm, the one that
the
awarded
our
us the
first
points.
like the boss, or
Yeah,
yeah, our first boss.
that was the cleric beast.
cleric
Click.
beast.
Well, I must say that at this point, I think my greatest achievement is I fell a cleric beast with one blow.
A single blow.
Yes,
Jesus.
I
Now I
only
have to. Now, as much as I
I
love a good exaggerated tale, there must be some detail you're leaving out, right?
oh, there is no exaggeration here. I made only one move against it and it fell.
And he catches your meaning and breaks into a hearty chuckle. Oh yes, we all have our nights where our sword arms aren't quite as trusty as usual, but you did strike the killing blow, so
But I did.
clearly the fates were not entirely against you.
Though I do owe the saving of our other party member to my friend here, and I put a hand on Alimor's shoulder.
It's what we're
The
here for.
yes, the nobility of your camaraderie warms my heart. More hunters in this city could stand to care about their peers as much as you all do. Now then, based off of your garb, I believe you might be newcomers around this city, are you?
You could say that.
Okay. Do you mind then if I were to briefly tell you the tale of how the old hunters earned their name?
We are always down to learn
Briefly.
something new,
Yes, I'll try and keep it quick.
but briefly.
The village of Beluvia was settled around 200 years ago by refugees displaced by a brutal war. In these times, the only beasts encountered by the town were relatively small ones emerging from the quarries they had set up in the ruins. Excuse me, quarries. I'm too used to talking about killing things. Despite their diminutive size, the beasts proved a potentially overwhelming threat, for they were possessed of a cunning not common in most animals. When the full moon rose, the beasts would come out in far greater numbers than usual, seeming more bloodthirsty as well. The first time the full moon rose on the burgeoning village, nearly a third of the population was killed by these beasts. It was then that a group of the survivors assembled to prepare for the next attack, dubbing themselves the Hunters. They would seek out and kill beasts as they rose from the ruins, even venturing down through the lower levels of the labyrinth beneath them to gain more practice. Their materials were very limited. Most fought with modified farming equipment and haphazardly built improvised weapons, and nobody could assemble enough metal to forge steel armor. Instead, they fought by maintaining quickness and flexibility. They dressed in leather and studied the movements of the beast to learn how to evade it. When their improvised weapons could not pierce thick hide, they engineered and designed specialized weapons to carve their foes into pieces. Battles between man and beast were fast and brutal. One moment could decide between a bloody death and a bloody triumph. Gradually, these hunters came to move like beasts themselves. This culminated on the night of the ailing moon, where the full moon appeared a sickly green as it rose into the night sky. The hunters had become quite capable, so not even the full moons posed much danger to the village of Beluvia. Yet as the ominous, accursed moon hung high in the sky, the beasts poured forth in greater strength than ever before. Where once these beasts were the size of wolves, now many of them were the size of bulls or bears even. Dozens tore out from the shadows of their lair and beset the village from all sides. As the beasts threatened to penetrate the village defenses, the hunters recognized the dire situation and trusted in their primordial instincts. They fought with reckless abandon, soaking every surface for a mile in blood. The brutal struggle separated the wheat from the chaff, and as the sun rose, only a handful of hunters remained, standing triumphant atop a mountain of bodies. These few survivors became mentors to the next generation and trusted leaders within the community. They are known as the Old Hunters.
That is quite the tale.
Are there any
So-
left alive?
Actually, yes. The blood, when administered in proper doses and at the proper potency, can dramatically extend the human lifespan. I believe currently both Ludwig and Maria of the Old Hunters continue to breathe and hunt within this city. Ludwig heading up his knights of the... what are they called again? How could I forget such a legendary group?
He says as he checks his notes.
Yeah, actually, let me find if I can find them anywhere in my notes, because I think they're in a different set of the notes. Yeah, they're on a different document.
Uh,
Let me dig it up real quick.
oh, that was Godwin. Okay.
Yeah, that's Godwin. This is Ludwig.
And
he's
then what was the
talking
other name?
Of like well, this isn't Ludwig. He's talking about Ludwig. His name is
Didn't he say there were two of them? Ludwig and who?
Ludwig and Maria.
Oh, yes. I do believe I've heard the tale of Maria. Dear Maria.
Yes, Ludwig is the commander of the Holy Blades. A very, very successful and arguably the largest group of hunters here in Beluvia.
Once again, I ask you because of my background, how much would I know about the Holy Blades?
I mean, probably not much, just because tales of this city are so vast and so diffuse that you don't really get specifics by the time they reach other parts of the world. You don't hear about the different mobs. You just hear about beasts and blood and aristocracy.
What
That's
about
fair.
my background that I told you about in secret? Would I know anything?
David, are you keeping secrets from me?
I am. I
Oh,
think it's such an exciting
there you
secret
go.
that y'all are gonna love to see. Even
I'm
though
gonna
it's
be
mine.
honest. It has been a while. I'm kind of blanking on your secret. Could you DM it to me again?
Do you want me
I'm
to
sure
DM
once
to
I
you,
see it,
or
it'll
do we
refresh
want
me.
Dylan? I'll send it to you.
I mean, if you want to air it out, you can air it out. But
No, I
if you want to
really.
keep it a secret,
I think it's gonna be
Son of
really
a-
funny when it finally happens.
Oh, man. Ow. I threw I threw my sharp D4 in the air and tried to catch it, and it was a bad idea.
yeah, I think you could have decided that without throwing it in the air.
Yeah, but I didn't think about it. My one brain cell said,
Dropped it.
Shiny.
Shiny, shiny, shiny.
It's like throwing a thumbtack in the air.
It really is. You're just risking your life every time you do.
That I am. That I am.
All right, did you
But
get my
yeah.
text?
Yes. Oh, I forgot you sent it over text, not
Well, it's just so loud when I type, so like on my keyboard.
It's Winston. I'm sorry. We have to address this while we're in a bit of a little prolapse. Um, so Kira is not from the South. Can we all stop and make fun of her for saying pop cans instead of soda cans?
Yeah,
Everyone.
pop cans is not gonna fly down here in Georgia.
Yeah,
you're
so-
you're
Every
you're
every
forbidden from saying that.
I
every
literally
single
didn't know
person.
what she meant when she said pop cans. I was like,
Every single person, whether you're us on the stream, if you're watching at home, point and laugh. Okay. Now that we've gotten that out of our systems.
did you though?
Yes, I did.
I'm proud of you.
Back to the action.
A minute, I gotta text Steven something.
So you
Oof.
tell these
Oof. Damn.
yes, you're the only viewer on here, but we have viewers everywhere else. Isn't that right, Jeremy? Jeremy's not in the chat, but he said yes.
Yeah, Jeremy's chilling in the background somewhere in one of the rooms in the dice room.
Sorry, Jeremy, Courtney, pretty much the same name.
Actually, yeah, she's gone to Taco Bell, so
Oh, you
she's not even
lucky
here.
son of a motherless goat.
Uh,
All right.
Okay, so
Let's
based off
continue
of
on.
that,
Yeah.
Steven would not likely have any additional information about the Holy Blades and their many exploits, but
okay.
Altoran is like, yes, Ludwig and his Holy Blades have defended this city better than just about any group of hunters I've ever seen. We all, any hunter group worth their salt strives to act in their image, to fight with the nobility that they do.
While that is a very valid viewpoint, I must pose this query.
Yes, go ahead.
Is it better to live in one's legacy or to strive to make your own?
Well, it is not just about it. We don't simply seek to live in the shadows of those who came before, but to understand just what made them great, so that we can add it to our supply of information and knowledge. The
I
old
can tell you
hunters,
what
of
made
course,
them great. They
fought
killed
with
a bunch of
primitive.
monsters.
Yes, but you don't see the artfulness that came in their craft,
I'm sorry, I suppose the years of being a warrior and military background have drawn me. What's the word? God, what's the word? This is Chaps blanking out. God, what's the word?
So it's drawing a blank, I guess.
Not the reverse of empathetic. The opposite of
Apathetic?
apathetic. Yes. I suppose the years of, being a warrior and having a military background and fighting in countless battles and winning all of them, have shown me, or have just turned me to having apathy to living in the a legacy of people gone past.
Yes, I understand that sentiment. They do say that glory is nothing but a pale idea in the face of death on a battlefield, but that is the fate that we hunters brave every night, and you, as a warrior, have done the same.
There's also
And we...
one other thing you must remember. So you always must be wary of an old man in a profession where men usually die young.
That is true. I've seen more battles in my years than even you, I have to reckon, just based off the number of years I've lived.
That is very fair. Though you must also be wary, because one day there will be a man who comes to you with a deck of cards and says, I will bet you 50 gold that the Jack of Spades will jump out of this deck and squirt cider in your ear. Do not take this bet, for you will walk away with cider in your ear and 50 less gold in your pocket.
See, this is the kind of thing that hunters need. Too many hunters are dragged down into the mud by the dourness of our profession. What we need is joy, the simple joy of life and survival day in and day out. So, while we might not agree on everything, I think we both mutually understand the importance of putting on a brave face in front of it all.
Of course.
Well then, we both have our tasks, I take it then. So, go on then and write some stories of your own.
Of course. I guess that was the third group, so.
Yep, so you've talked to everybody in the area, and you are now off towards the butcher's shop, I presume.
And then, as we walk out, I challenged a magician came up to me. I did not realize he was a magician, but I walked away with cider in my ear and 50 less gold in my pocket.
It sounds like you liked it.
You keep talking about it so much. It had to have left an impression on you.
It wasn't a bad experience.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can find somebody you can pay less than 50 to do that too for you.
Yeah, really, it's a steep price for some cider in your ear, but maybe it was just part of the whole ambiance and magic. It's not just cider in the ear; it's about the foreplay.
Exactly, it's part of the charm.
Mm.
That was a Guys and Dolls reference for any theater people listening.
I'm sure Steven and I, neither one of us knew it, right?
No, yeah, 100% no.
I thought it was just a kink of yours.
No, it wasn't. No, it was actually a line.
Continuing to inject your fetishes into our D&D game, Chaps.
It was actually a line originally said by Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
Good old Frank.
Good old Frankie.
Goat. But, so, yes, you all set off following the little path drawn for you on the map by Wagner. Out here at the very edge of the city, Beluvian architecture is still a league ahead of the squalor of the ring. The dirt roads are replaced with evenly laid flagstone, creaking hovels with two-floor abodes and businesses built with cobblestone. Their chimneys puffing smoke from fireplaces within. Nice roofs and gable and dormer structures. It's nice. Warm orange streetlights. It's certainly a change in scenery. But despite the improvement, there's still this eerie feeling hanging over the moonlit road and the shadowy alleys. For a city of this size, the streets are surprisingly sparse after nightfall. Those who do walk the night do so with a guarded caution. Their gaze does not meet yours. But after a short walk, you do arrive at the butcher's shop, the area around it even less busy than the street you'd walk to get there. The area around the butcher's shop is dead silent, not a soul seeming to walk down this part of the road. A large display window reveals the darkness inside the building. The meat behind the counter looks like it hasn't been cycled out in a few weeks. Painted above the window is a sign reading Devon's Cuts and Butchery Service, and a sign inside the window reads Closed. The smell of old meat emanates from a garbage can in the alley beside the building.
So maybe I wasn't too far off about the food poisoning.
There's a possibility. But yeah, what do you guys do?
Is the front door locked?
You try it, and it is.
Alright, I'd like to cast Wish. No, I'm kidding.
Unlock this door.
Let's see. What do I have? I have a crowbar.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to get in there and try and winch the door open with the crowbar, that's definitely you just make like a strength check to yank that sucker open.
What do you think? Alimor? Should we just straight up break in, or should we try and find a way
Can we
in?
hear anything first? Can we tell if anything is inside?
Oh yeah.
I guess make a perception check to see if you can hear anything going on inside.
Can I use? May I use Divine Sense and make a perception check?
I mean, you can do both separately, yeah, but
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
won't give you an edge on the other.
12 on perception.
Okay, so you can't quite make anything out inside. It seems to be basically dead silent out here on the street. All you can hear is the faint hum of a street light.
All right. I use divine sense.
So that lets you sense like what fiends, undead, aberrations.
As an action, you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or another location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. That is not behind total cover, but I guess they would be behind total cover, huh?
Yes, you're not really getting a whole lot of vibes out here on the street.
Can I use it along with a perception check to roll with advantage?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
That. Glad that isn't a thing. Okay, that's gonna be a 17. The first was a natural 1.
Ooh, good thing you had advantage then. So you are able to make out the sounds of somebody seemingly kind of steps on the second floor of this building. It's like a kind of a townhouse seemingly. So the floor above this very well could be the residence of whoever owns this shop.
Are there? Can I see any windows from where I'm at?
There's the big main window that with all the meats behind it, but other than that, you don't see any on this side of the building.
I'd like to.
Is it nighttime?
It is. It almost always is, because nighttime is cool.
If we can
Are there
find-
windows up there?
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Steven, let's go ahead and do what you're doing.
Are there windows on the second floor or anything?
As you like circle the building, you see that there aren't really any windows on the second floor of this building. But there is, however, a like a side door that seems to connect into back into that main front room of the butcher shop itself.
All right, is that one unlocked?
It is also locked, but it seems like its hinges are kind of rusty. Like it would
Here-
not be very hard to get it to crack.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's see.
Here's the thing. If you come back to the front, I can use Misty Step and just get us in through the window.
Okay, that'll work. I was trying to figure out how I could use like thaumaturgy to basically make something draw the attention away while we made the noise of opening the door.
Now
But
that's
if
sick.
we can do Misty Step,
And-
it'll work better.
That would honestly, if you want to still do that, or no, because Misty Step is only self, but I'm assuming there's like a bell at the top of the door because there's always bells.
Yeah, like the shop bell to signal that a customer's come in.
So my basic plan is because I didn't realize that Misty Step you could only use it on yourself. But if I teleport through the window, unlock the door, hold on to the bell, and open it for you, then it should be made with 0 noise. Correct?
Yeah, that stands to reason.
All right. You good with that plan, Steven?
I like it.
All right, great. I bamf through the window.
Yep, so you misty step on through.
Mhm.
Nice and simple application of some good old magic. And then you presumably walk up to the door and kind of grab a hold. You definitely see that there's a bell connected to like a thing at the bottom of the door that triggers when it's pushed open.
Yeah,
And
no,
you grab it so it can't rattle at all.
Yep. And then I open the door up I unlock it and open it.
All right, so yes, you let Alimor in without any difficulty. And I guess both of you make stealth checks now that you're moving to determine how loud that's going to be.
Ooh, one sec. I wanna check something out real quick.
Neither one of you are particularly good at stealth, are you?
How long does this last?
Oh. The 7 looks a lot like a 1.
It really does, but
That's a 10.
it isn't
Okay.
at least. It's a little
So,
better.
I have disadvantage on stealth. My first roll was a nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
And your
Second roll was a 12.
Okay, so you're actually able to maintain a level of quiet, chaps, that like despite your kind of heavy armor and all the metal on your person. You're able to just creep quietly enough. But Alimor, walking through the door, kind of trips on like the frame of it a little bit, and like just his armor clanks a bit, and you hear the footsteps from upstairs get a lot more like sudden and rapid as he seemingly is coming towards the stairs. Or
All right.
I guess you don't know its gender yet, but it's heavy and thudding. It sounds like a guy.
Okay.
Is how long does the divine sense, how long does that last?
I'm pretty sure it's just like basically an instant of you.
Yeah, no,
sense
it
it for
says
a moment.
it says until the end of your next turn.
So I guess that would be a total of 12 seconds.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Okay.
But so are you guys gonna do anything? There is now the sound of someone coming down the steps. Doesn't seem like the people in the steps will get visibility of this room until they basically get to the bottom.
All right.
Seems
Let's
like it's like
Let me
the
whisper
staircase is in
to
a separate room.
Alastor and say, "Do you trust me?"
Yes, of course.
All right, then give me a second. This is me talking, Steven talking. I've got to prep a little sentence or two. But we can keep
Me,
going.
Chaps doesn't trust you though.
In character, he has to, but as a person,
No.
This is
No,
going to be
in
super
character,
exciting.
not
Yes.
as far as he can throw you. Which, given he's a theater major, not that far.
Hey,
This this is going to be good. Trust me.
that hurt a little bit.
Um,
that one hurt.
Theater majors are not known for their absurd physical strength. Toreadors don't
But-
get potency as one of their class blood things.
But we do have to go to the gym to stay in shape so that we can still get gigs.
You're all looks, no muscle.
Okay, what about like Henry Cavill?
Yeah, but he's a nerd. He's like, he breaks every trope and convention of everything he's involved with. He's like the Omni-Man, bro. He can do anything.
Okay, so let me while I get back to this, is there a deity that they worship in the church that controls the blood?
They worship the blood, I think.
Well, there are you got to talk with a member of the church at that bar a little while ago, and they seem to worship the blood itself largely is like the main topic, but there are a number of blood saints who are basically people who either through stories or who knows potentially real events are connected to the blood and have like done a lot to further its distribution and humanity's access to it. They draw these stories from the book of Verikrev, which is just kind of a recounting of all the parables of how these blood saints came to be known.
Can you give me the name of one of them that like we would have met?
You would know about Sanguinius by now.
Okay. I'm going
Have you
to write
heard
a
the
quick
tale
three
of Darth
sentences.
Sanguinius?
Oh, wise. Luckily, none of you are 40k fans, because that is an entirely stolen name, because Sanguinius is way too cool of a name to not be a blood saint, bro. He is the Primarch of the Blood Angels.
Anyways.
Or was before he died.
You do anything, Alimor?
So Alimor's cooking up his plan
Yeah, I'm
using
just typing
the
it
name
so
of
I can-
Sanguinius here.
So I can write it out, like say it.
You're typing up your sentence. Okay,
Yeah.
understandable. Take your time.
I really don't want to waste this. So if this person turns like fighting hostile, I'd like to go ahead and ready an action and ready my celestial revelation.
Okay, sure. So yeah, if you detect that this person's going to attack you guys, you will immediately activate it before combat even starts. Okie dokie, sounds good. But yeah, time is frozen as Alimor is cooking up the greatest sentence ever made.
I'm sorry.
No. Take your time. I want it just better live up to my expectations. I know that my expectations rise with each passing moment.
Steven, you better not get us killed.
Well, I'm not going to kill you for it. I'm just going to look at you disappointedly.
Oh yeah, do we level up?
You're still level 6, motherfucker.
Dang it.
You guys have
No,
barely
we're-
done anything since you last leveled up.
Yeah.
Other than
but-
rob somebody.
Hey, listen. That robbing them was no easy feat.
It wasn't, but it was a side quest.
It was. And I'm just saying, I gave you guys levels for side quests. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but the way your campaign was structured was different than mine. Yours is more open-ended, so it's like you got it. You have a certain level you start at and a certain level you kind of need to be at to do some of the later stuff you had planned. So you just have to you level up from doing stuff in between. Here it's you level up mostly when you accomplish something pretty big that within kind of a more pre-structured kind of thing, you dig?
Yeah.
Dylan, give me a quick little key or code phrase. Either of you actually can give it to me.
Taint.
No.
Was that like the safe word for killing the guy who's about to come down these stairs?
No. I want it to be related to blood, but
Blood.
yeah. If you say blood for the blood god, I will fight you.
Yeah, it's okay. That's another 40K reference.
Yeah.
Get some corn in here.
Chemo. As in,
Hemo.
like
Yeah, like
hemoglobin.
chemo. Hemoglobin.
I get where you're going for, but that's
Plasma.
not what I'm looking for. I'm going to go with
Plasma?
something like bloody rags.
Bloody Mary.
No, something like
Bloody Mary,
rags,
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
clean the worst sins. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so you see a man, the silhouette of him. It's still very dark in this butcher shop. Do you guys have dark vision?
I do.
Okay, so you're able to see him as like a gray silhouette, but you can make out a lot more of the detail than you could without dark vision. You're both Asimar, so I think you both do, right?
Yeah.
And even
Okay,
if we
so you
don't,
both were able to make
theoretically,
I'm a
so-
pure Asimar. He's a variant. Let's get this right.
Yeah, let's make sure we understand who the Aryans are here and who are the lessers. Clearly,
Let's be honest here.
pure Asimar supremacist over here. But yes, he is descending the stairs, and you can make out in the gray that he is currently attempting to get a match to light so we can light a candle. And you do see tucked over his shoulder on his back is seemingly a boomstick, baby. He has like a shotgun on
Oh
his
my
back.
god.
Okay, so at this moment, I want to cast light on the ceiling in front of him right before he comes out, so like he can't really see us like around the corner.
Mhm. Okay.
And I get to choose its color. I want to make it in the color of the pure blood.
Okay, yeah, so it's
Then-
just this nice,
Mhm.
rich red.
Then I can
Ooh,
use
that's
thaumaturgy up to 3 times at the same
Yeah.
time. I want to
If
use
you-
it to make the light flicker as if it is living and fluid. And then I
Mhm.
also want to use thaumaturgy to create an ominous whisper that says, "Do not be afraid. I have been searching for you. Meet with Sanguinius in the morning and recite the following phrase. Bloody rags wipe away the dirtiest of sins. Return to bed and fulfill my duty in the morning."
He covers his eyes for a moment, kind of overcome by the light that's now like kind of flickering in his face, and you can see his like face kind of go from one of like just pure like reactive shock to like kind of confusion as he hears this whisper echo in his mind basically, and he stops trying, like he starts just kind of looking around, trying to like see around this light, kind of in confusion, and he then says out loud, what, who goes there? What is happening? Did I drink too much last night or something? Jesus.
You are not drunk, and your eyes do not deceive you. Remember these words and meet with Sanguinius in the morning. Bloody rags wipe away the dirtiest of sins.
He like, I guess roll like a persuasion check.
That's an intense one. If if this doesn't work, I'll activate my celestial revelation and just
It's an 18.
try to drive home.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, so he like rubs his eyes for a minute and is like, I must be tired or something. All right, well, I guess I'll write that down, but I'm going back to bed. I must have just been hearing things in here. And he heads back upstairs and seems like he's headed to his room. But as he is heading upstairs, you hear a sound seemingly from underneath the butcher shop itself, kind of the what kind of sound does a pig make? I guess just squealing, kind of. You hear kind of the. I can see you making faces over there, Jeff. We can't hear the noises you're
It
making. I'm
doesn't
very
come.
glad
Son
about that.
of a mother. Let's go. Give
It
me a
doesn't even
minute.
recognize that it's human on Discord.
That
But
noise suppression off.
you know. Yeah, like that. You could have been on Pink Floyd's Animals with those pig noises. That was incredible. But you hear sounds like that coming from the basement, seemingly, and you do see, if you go forward and make a left, there is a set of stairs that seem to lead down into a cellar.
I say we go ahead. Sorry, gosh, I don't know what's going on. I say we go ahead and head down into the cellar.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. So you trek
That
down
stinking
into
cellar.
the cellar.
Sorry.
That
Now,
stinking cellar.
can I ask a quick question, like as Steven?
Yeah.
So I just had food get here. Can we take our 15-minute break 15 minutes early, or will this be
Yeah,
done in
that's-
about 15 minutes?
This
Well-
will take longer than 15 minutes, but
Yeah.
you're fine.
Let's let's leave the audience in suspense.
I like it.
Yes,
It's
as
a good-
they head down into the cellar.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
If you don't mind, guys, we will be back at 8:31.
Indeed.
8:31.
See y'all soon.
God, these chatters suck, man.
Just the worst. I hate them all. Every single
Absolutely
fan of the
horrible.
dice room is a dumb sheep.
I hate them. They're so they're such snowflakes, man.
uh,
Man. And Steven, God, I'm so sick of Steven.
just I would like beat Steven to death if I could. Like, with
I
a
have.
ball
He
hammer.
came back.
He's unbeatable.
He's not unbeatable, just unkillable.
Yeah, no, you did beat him. You just didn't kill him.
Exactly. There's a mild difference. I'm out of cheese. Guess I'll run up and grab food real quick.
I already ate some tacos for dinner, and I'm all good for the night. So I'll hold down the fort in your absence.
Actually, real quick, Davis, I'm gonna send you something on TikTok. Just know that the only reason I'm sending it to you is because I had to see it, so you will have to as well.
What if I just don't open it?
Open it. Please, I can't be
Okay,
the only one that had to deal with this.
No, really, Kira's right, chaps. You're never out of cheese, because you're just the cheesiest.
Kira, I will ban you. Alright, I'm gonna go grab food and let you stew in that.
Yeah, let me crack this open real fast. Oh god, it's already making me cringe. Okay, so for everyone in chat who wants to know what it is Chap sent me, I know you're just chomping at the bit. It is someone attempting to perform oral sex on Jack Skellington. Hooray! But yeah, it's like drawings of it. And yeah, I could have gone my whole life without seeing it, but yeah, different strokes for different folks. Some people like bones, I guess. I'm used to it. I was, I liked Undertale when it came out, and plenty of people wanted to fuck that skeleton. Yeah, I mean, if you want more of a mental image, if you want the actual image, I mean, I could get Chaps to send it to you. Wouldn't be too hard. Then you have something real to save in your brain, you know? All right, when he gets back, I'm telling him to. You're gonna receive this curse. You're gonna be the third person subjected to this shit.
So did you watch it? Hello.
I did, and I described it for the pleasure of everyone in chat. Now you have to send it to Kira, if possible.
I got you, Kira. Don't worry. You're gonna see it soon. I kind of want to hear the description.
I gave it a rather simple description. It was a series of drawings of someone attempting to give fellatio to Jack Skellington.
That's good. So I've come back with food and drink. I get stupid tinfoil.
Victuals and beverage. I come back with a slice of pie and some Captain Morgan's white rum, which I will not be drinking on stream, but once it ends, I make no promises.
I've got a bag of boiled peanuts and sparkling apple cider.
Keep some interesting stuff in your pantry, don't you? You got roasted peanuts, freaking cheese cubes. Honestly, if I weren't allergic to peanuts, that sounds like it would be a pretty lovely little pairing. And if we don't get on with it, I'm not going to be able to get Caleb until like 9:05, 9:10 even.
What's that? I'll be right back. I gotta find a bottle opener.
A man has to drink in order to survive being on the dice room. Baja Blast next to the Captain Morgan. Yes, Chaps has stepped out to get a bottle opener for his sparkling cider bottle and his roasted peanuts because he only eats the strangest snacks known to man. Guy never has heard of Cheez-Its, apparently.
Okay, I have a question.
God, that hurt like a son of a motherless goat.
You stub your toe or something?
No, when so I keep a knife on my bed at times. Don't ask why. It'll just raise more questions. Uh, but when I got off, as I like slid off the edge of my bed, I like scraped the side of my calf.
Ugh.
Yeah. Now I gotta remember which one of these is the like bottle cap opener.
I could help clean it out using some of the old Morgan, bro. Let me pour some on that. It'll neutralize any bacteria in your wound.
Nah, it didn't like cut it. It was just one of those like really annoying, painful scrapes.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
I do too. We all been there.
How's the Taco Bell?
It was delicious. Courtney brought me too much.
What all she bring? What was the spread looking like?
So she got she got her like one of those boxes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got a 12-pack of Cinnabon Delights.
Ooh, yeah, bro. The Cinnabon Delights are deadly, bro. Them shits are so good.
They really are. And then she got me freaking 3 beefy 5-layer burritos.
3, damn.
Mm-hmm. So I ate 2, and I was like, I can't eat the third.
Yeah, this one can be for later.
So my apple cider spewed as soon as I opened it.
Yeah, that's what I would say
sorry to
too
hear
if
that.
I just feed myself on stream.
How bad's the spill looking over there?
It wasn't that bad. It's all over my blanket. It's gonna smell like apples
You know what's really funny?
in my studio for a while.
I'm sorry, that was funny. Even though it wasn't the same cup, you did talk about being impossible to spill at the start of the stream.
Yeah, like the curse passed on. It wasn't just on the D20. It was on you.
Yeah.
The
Well, see,
curse itself.
It wasn't like the like I didn't spill it. Like as soon as I popped the cap, it went.
Again, that's what I would
What
say
do you refer to as some liquid being unintentionally removed from a container and splashed onto other things.
The way I define spill is like if there's stuff in here.
No,
and
it does need to be like
over.
it typically needs to be tipped, but what else are you gonna call it when something just comes out of a bottle when you don't want it to?
You would say it's spilling over.
Same thing my parents call me, an accident.
A little squirt, maybe. That's what I call you.
Please never call me squirt.
According
Some
to
squirt.
Premature. I was a preemie, so.
Well, according to some of your other friends, apparently I can call you son, since I'm your
I
father.
thought he was. I thought he was Daddy DM.
No, I'm his father.
One of the beta testers thought Steven was my dad.
Yeah,
Do we have 3 generations of D&D player in here? We got Daddy DM, who's obviously my dad, and then Daddy DM's dad.
I do believe so. That's our new thing.
3 generations of a family stream, of course. Yes, for all ages. DM Daddy's daddy. But yeah, 8:31 has rolled around. So if there are no objections, how's about we get back to it?
Real quick, I just want to make eye contact with the camera while I just
eat a roasted peanut.
So I do have a serious question though. Is what mental image could Kira have gone without? Is it this peanut? Is it Dillon putting the nuts in his mouth?
No, it's not Dillon putting the nuts in his mouth. It's you know what, Kira? If you want to describe it in chat, you're welcome to.
Please use as much detail as you can without getting us in trouble on Twitch.
please don't.
This would be a second-hand description because she's understanding from the description. Oh, she's seen it now. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Go ahead and give him a very thorough description of it.
And now we wait.
Yes, please type up like a 3-paragraph, 500-word essay.
I want a full dissertation.
Yes, please.
Especially while I play
If you
Clash of
want, I
Clans.
can just send it to you.
No.
Yeah, we could just have Steven see it too.
I would much rather read the description.
It's kind of something you need to see to fully understand. You know, like a description can only do so much. I'm sure Kira will find that when she looks at it, she'll think that the words couldn't quite do it justice.
As an explanation,
Attempting to please him.
Attempting to please
Jack Skellington.
Oh.
I'm sending it to you on Snapchat. That way it
thought
isn't
you meant
in any of my text messages.
Jack Skellington attempting to please Dillon.
Oh no, I can't. I have to save each individual image to send it on Snapchat.
Well, let me tell you what, Dillon. You don't have
Mhm.
to.
Save. Oh no, I have to select all. Save.
Yes, they attempt to please Jack Skellington only to find that he is not properly equipped for the
I'm about to send him the pictures.
The intended form that they were going to do, but they improvise and
All right,
come up
Steven,
with alternative means.
You have to look at them in order while I delete these images off of my phone.
Taint, yeah.
Is he getting stepped
bone
on?
taint.
I
No,
can't tell what body part that is.
you will in a minute.
Oh.
Dude, Steven's reactions to things are just the best.
It's like showing things to your dad, you know? Son, what the hell is this?
Yeah, that's Jack Skeleton getting his hip bone licked out right there.
So yeah, Kira does ask a good question. Why are you being shown these things, chaps? What's wrong with your For You page?
So I follow a lot of art pages.
Oh.
And
So
every now and again,
going on record and calling that art.
I mean, it's relatively well drawn.
Yeah, no, it's well drawn.
Just the content of it is distasteful, we'll call it.
Let's get back to D&D.
I was having fun, but yeah, sure.
I wasn't.
Continue to pretend to be fantasy freaking characters and shit. But yes, so you guys are currently slowly stepping down this creaky wooden staircase into this man's cellar. So Kira, is it to your preferences though? Real question.
I don't feel like that should be anyone's preference.
Clearly somebody's, they drew it. But
I'm not even gonna attempt to say that we don't kink shame here because we do.
Yeah. What are
Says
Dylan's
the
preferences?
man who
Good
was
question,
talking
Muzdu.
about a kink of getting whatever in his ear by a little tiny jester.
Speaking, the
Yeah.
cider thing came full circle. That's what really cursed your cider to explode.
All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep on
Yeah.
pretending to be
But
weirds.
both of you roll a stealth check whilst you go down this creaky wooden staircase.
Is there anything
I
I
rolled a
have that
4.
can make me do it with advantage?
Um,
I don't think
um,
it's gonna matter because I got a 4.
strip naked on stream and start dancing. Just
Liamon's
kidding.
tiny hut.
Liamon's tiny hut, I don't think will be able to make this any better. Though considering Dylan's role, I don't think anything could. You hear kind of a more trudging from upstairs, but it doesn't. You guys stop on the stairs for a minute, presumably, and just kind of like freeze when one of the stairs is extra loud as it creaks. But you wait a minute or so, and nothing really comes down the steps. So it seems like whatever it was, it hasn't decided to pursue you down the steps yet. So you all, do you just you keep moving?
Can I cast find traps?
Yeah, you can. Do it.
Bam! I cast it.
You don't find any fucking traps. I don't care
Perfect.
what area of traps you're looking for. There aren't any.
That's
I would.
exciting.
Sorry, go ahead. I would like to once again use divine sense.
You sense evil, but none of the specific pre-mentioned creature types. It seems like whatever it is doesn't really align with being a fiend, an aberration, an undead, or a celestial, but it is an evil that taints this place.
There's definitely evil down here.
Yes. So you all finish getting down the steps, and with your dark vision, you're able to make out in the dark cellar bars
Oh.
from the
we can
ceiling to the
see.
floor.
Okay.
And on the other side, in this kind of gray scale, you can see this creature. It is it's like a pig, but just bloated to an ungodly extreme. It's got to be like 6 feet long, 3 or 4 feet tall, and it is simply laying, braying and squealing atop a pile of decaying meat. And but it's behind these bars, so it has not gotten up to ingress upon you in any way. There is a door into what appears to be some type of cell almost that it is being held in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is quite disgusting.
There's a set of matches on a table nearby alongside some equipment to seemingly help deliver food to the inside of this cellar safely. So or the cell within the cellar actually. But and matches and a lantern, and there is a spot to hang the lantern on the back wall of the cellar. So if you want to provide some proper light, because although dark vision allows you to see in pure darkness as if it were dim light, that would not diminish the disadvantage you would suffer on attack rolls because it's still kind of hard to see.
What type of material are like the walls and floor and stuff made out of, and the ceiling as well?
The ceiling seems to be kind of the wood above it. The floor of the first floor was wood, but it seems like there's reinforced stuff to kind of support it up under here, so you can see the wood, but underneath it are kind of lines of some type of metal reinforcing it. The ground is made out of stone. The walls are still seemingly made out of wood reinforced with more stone.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't appear to be any direct method in or out of this cellar other than the stairs you took, nor is there any windows or sight into it.
So here's the thing. I have oil and a torch and a tinderbox here in my inventory. How wide is the gap?
Like in between the bars?
Yeah.
Definitely wide enough that you could reach something through it. Like it's got to be a good 5 or 6 inch gap between each bar.
Okay. We could. I think that the best bet here is just going to be to kill this thing with range. Because let's be honest, at this point, it's not just our mission, but it's also a mercy killing.
Well, we're also at a butcher. Like, that could be their source of income.
Well, we're doing him a favor. We're going ahead and cooking it up for him so he can just sell it as barbecue.
Hmm.
As you all are reviewing and kind of quietly discussing what you want to do with this creature, you hear the sound of slow, plodding footsteps coming down the stairs.
Oh boy.
And do you do anything in reaction?
I aim my crossbow towards the stairs.
Okay. And eventually you can see a figure kind of break past the there's kind of posts to help support the floor above that kind of obscure who is on the stairs until they get low enough on the steps. You see what appears to be the man from before. He's dressed in kind of a leather duster with pants and stuff. He's fully dressed to head out onto the town or whatever. But he's got his shotgun in hand, but his head is down looking at the ground, and he has like a kind of a brimmed hat on as he walks down the steps. And he says, before, anyone takes any action against him, he says, "So I see you've discovered it down here."
What exactly is it?
It is,
If you say this is your wife, I'm going to be very disgusted. I'm letting you know now.
and you see a tear well up in his eye. How did you know? Do you say that?
The what?
Yeah.
No, that was Chaps. That wasn't Alastor. Alastor has enough composure.
Because he would have attempted to shoot you on the spot for that shit.
Okay. Let's be honest. Okay. I'm going to give you one chance to put this thing out of its misery. If not, I'm going to feed you to it and then kill it. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
God. And you hunters claim to be the humanitarian protectors of this city. And here you are coming down here and demand I kill my poor, poor wife. Look at her.
We
Look
never
at what
claimed to be
look at what
hunters,
it
and
made
I
her.
never claimed to be a humanitarian.
And what the hell are you doing here? Get out of my cellar. Just leave us be.
Finishing a job.
I just want to save her.
I understand. Alistair is going to walk over. He holsters his crossbow, walks over, hands open. Listen, I lost my wife too, and there were circumstances that I couldn't save her. Let me be the first to tell you that this life is not what she would have wanted. That isn't your wife anymore.
But my wife isn't gone. She's right there. And all I need to do is figure out how to change her back. The city has ruined her, and I will save her.
I'm gonna bring her in. I'm gonna bring him into a hug.
He pushes back against you. Don't you touch me. Don't act like you're my friend when you came here just to hurt her. To hurt her and to hurt me.
You and I both know that this is mercy at this point.
Make a persuasion check to see if you can convince him to appeal to what is in him that would compel him to want to put it to an end.
Nat 20.
Okay, so yes, you see a he kind of puts his head in his hands for a minute. He's clearly battling a lot of very, very conflicting emotions here, and he says, "You're right. There's nothing I can do now. She's gone. But I can't bring myself to hurt her. I know it is a lot to ask, but could you do it for me? Please?"
I will. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I will handle this with the utmost respect.
You have my thanks, then. And he kind of falls to, like, just sitting back against the wall, just alternatively, like, head in his hands and looking up as if he can't bear to look, but can't bear to look away either. It is, it's clearly weighing a lot on him.
I'd like to hold my hand out and sort of gesture for the shotgun. May I?
I mean, you don't have proficiency in firearms. You don't know how to
Yeah.
use this thing.
Two things.
You're right.
We will be deaf.
That's fair.
And secondly, assuming you're not going to make me roll for damage, I can do this pretty easily.
What are you gonna do to it?
I was going to cast Spiritual Weapon and have it go right behind its head and just go down between it, like behind its head and sever its spinal column.
But
Well, you're assuming this
butcher
creature is
method.
going to give itself up easily.
Well, that's the first thing, yes. But if we have to fight, then we have to fight. But if we don't, that's what I would do.
I mean, go ahead. You
There's
summon
always
your-
there's always the oil in the fire. Just throwing that out there.
I doubt he'll approve of that plan, seeing as it would likely burn down his shop and his sole source of livelihood and home along with it.
There's enough painful memories here that he probably doesn't want to live here anymore.
He has to pay for himself, because that's another thing, is you can tell he has not been operating the shop for the past few weeks just in order to basically supply this creature with food. He's clearly been bringing the meat that has been shipped in for the shop down here instead to feed her.
All right, Alimor.
And he stands up for a minute. He says, wait, I have an idea. You're here on a job, right? You just need to bring back something to solve a problem, right? You heard there's
No.
disturbances, some noise complaints or something, hearing that there were beasts in the area, right?
Yes, the noise complaints were mostly what we were sitting here about.
See, I've been up in my room, I've been doing some engineering. I've been working on a I can't find the word, I have to look at my notes. Crap. A muzzle. I've been working on a muzzle for it. It will keep it quiet. It'll be dead silent. Nobody will hear it ever again until I can find something to do for her. She's the only thing I've ever had in my life. This cruel world, she's the only light I've ever had. And he bites his lip for a moment and says, I have a dog out in the alley behind the shop. It's chained up back there. You can take its skull back to whoever sent you here. Please. Please let her go.
I'd like to open my arms up for a hug again.
No.
Listen,
I don't want to hug. I want
don't
my
worry.
wife.
I know, but please just do me this one favor so that I can feel as though I've helped you.
You haven't helped me.
But
All you've done.
I plan to. Don't you worry.
And he just kind of stands off in the corner of the room. He does not want to hug you.
Okay. Let me see what spells I have here.
I wonder, have we cast Detect Magic on it? Do I even have that? I do. And will that tell me, like, what kind of...
We don't know if it's a magical creature or not.
That's kind of what I'm wondering. Because if it is magical, if it's illuminated with magic, I have Dispel Magic.
I do have Detect Magic that I could use.
Because if it's just a magical curse, let me make sure Dispel Magic works.
Yeah, Dispel Magic should work on curses.
Any spell of 3rd level or lower. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target,
What
make an ability check.
level is True Polymorph?
Like 8th or 9th level, I think. I'll look it up, though.
True Polymorph.
So basically, if it was
It
9th, I'd have to roll a
is
19
9th
or
level.
higher.
9th level. So yeah, no, I don't. Even if you could dispel the magic, because the only thing this looks like to me, this looks like to me is polymorph. Um, see what regular polymorph looks like.
I still feel like this might not be a bad idea to try.
Even polymorph is a 4th level spell.
So at polymorph, I would
So-
have to roll. I think I have to roll and get above a 14 to end it.
I mean, it's up to you. You have not cast Detect Magic yet, so you aren't entirely aware if there is magic or what schools of magic
I'll
it
cast
would
it.
be influencing.
I'm casting Detect Magic.
You can detect the faintest traces of magic from the inside of the creature's stomach. It seems like the blood it had been consuming is of magical nature, but its body is not. The transformation that has affected it is not. It is an actual physical transfiguration of their body.
Well,
So there's nothing we can do to help her.
sure doesn't look like it.
Certainly not right now.
Here's the thing. We're either gonna have to leave both of them or kill both of them. There's something tells me he's not going down without her. Or
Should I cast sleep?
if I'm being completely honest, the reason I wanted to hug him was because I was gonna snap his neck.
Well then, keep
Well,
trying to
he's
hug him.
probably very glad that he did not get hugged.
That being said, I can cast Hold Person.
That you could theoretically, but I mean, currently he's
Or
literally
command.
just standing over in the corner of the room, kind of cautiously watching you guys as you either. I assume a lot of this has just been table talk stuff, like
Yeah.
kind of discussing the options. So I assume both of you are just kind of in thought or looking at the creature or him. You know, just the scene's kind of at a pause right now.
I could command him to kill her.
Ooh.
Well, command is a single word. So I don't know how well you can designate targets with just one word.
Mm-hmm.
I am almost. What languages do they know?
I mean, he knows common because he's spoken it, but other than that, you do
Ooh.
not know what languages he knows.
What if, hear me out, we throw him in, and then I give him the command survive.
Well, I mean, it's an option. I won't weigh in with my opinion on it. After all, God is not known to give his opinions on the plans of mortals.
I'd like
Okay.
to pray to my personal Lord and Savior, Davis. Uh, Davis, what do you think about the command plan?
I mean, morally, I find it a bit rejectable because you're threatening the life of an innocent man by exposing him to attacks from a pretty hideous-looking monster. But you don't know if he's going to be strong enough to kill the creature or to escape. He might be able to he might have the keys on his body or something to open up its cell door and potentially flee rather than killing it. So it's not exactly foolproof.
I look at him, hey, can I have the keys to the door?
No.
It's worth a shot.
Would he by any chance know what the word uxoricide means?
I don't even know what that word means.
Let's see. What is his intelligence score? It is an 8, so probably not, no.
That is the act of killing one's wife.
Hmm.
It is a single word to do what you need.
Oh my
It
god!
is. Yeah,
How do you
it's
pronounce it?
similar. It's similar to the what's it called? The one people always do with command, the defenestrate or whatever. You like throw yourself out of a window.
Mm-hmm. How do you pronounce it again?
Uxoricide. It's like homicide, but Uxor. Uxor is wife.
Okay.
So it's
Got
like
you.
murder of the wife.
I'm gonna cast command and say Uxoricide.
He's not gonna understand it. That's what we just said.
Oh wait, so do they have to understand it to?
Let's see.
That's a
So
that's a really good point.
Up
one
to
word
3
command
ranges.
to a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect if the creature is undead. If it doesn't understand your language or if the command is directly harmful to it. Some typical commands are there and their effects below. You might issue a command other than the one described here, so it doesn't really say. But also, the
So-
duration of it is a single round. So he'll only have to do as you command for 6 seconds.
Which is just enough time to blow the thing's head off.
Or at least try.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try if you want.
I mean, technically, he does understand the language. It doesn't say he has to understand
Yeah,
the
no,
word. It's
he
just
speaks the
language.
same language, so I would let him, even though he doesn't like know the meaning of the word in the dictionary.
Mhm. Yeah, no. I'm gonna look at him and cast command and say, Uxorside.
Right, and it's a wisdom saving throw to resist the effect of the spiel.
That is a 13.
Well, you don't roll anything. He
No,
rolls.
yeah, I was saying that's the
Oh
what
yeah,
it
okay.
has to be.
DC. I thought you were rolling for some
Oh,
reason. Let me see.
no.
Got a sheet pulled up.
Doesn't
Roll
sound
it.
high.
Yep, he just made it, actually. He rolled an 11 and he has +2. So he is
Beats it.
unaffected by your spell, and he stands up like fully. He was kind of like, just recluded in the corner, just like head in hands, and he looks up at you. How dare you? How dare you attempt to influence me without my will? Either get out of here now. I take care of you myself.
You and I both know that if you kill me, if you kill either of us, you will die. They will send more hunters, not only after the beast, but now you as well.
I refuse to stand idly by while you hunters kill and maim these creatures, while you kill and maim these people who my loving wife. So, I don't care what it costs. I don't care if I have to kill every hunter in this city or if I die trying. I'm making my stand here. You will not lay a finger on her.
And with that, may I do something?
If it's something combat related, he's poised enough that combat would start before you could do it, but
It was 100. I was going to cast Spiritual Weapon and have the blade come up right to his neck. And since he's in the corner, he literally can't move forward without running into it.
I can do something just as frightening. Or more so frightening, maybe.
I mean, say what you're gonna do, but if it's something that attacks him, initiative will start before that happens.
It's not going to directly attack him.
We'll just describe it and we'll see if
My
I allow it.
my celestial revelation.
I would allow that to happen right before combat, just because it's not a direct active aggression against him.
All right. So yeah, no. I'm going to activate my celestial revelation. Of course, I glow with my eyes turn black. Black spectral wings sprout from my back. He has to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay, what was a charisma saving throw?
Yes.
Okie dokie. What is the DC the same as the other one? 13?
Yes. It is.
He fails it, so he is frightened, correct? For
Yes.
like until the end of your next turn.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, everybody roll initiative.
At advantage.
Yeah, you do have advantage from the vigilant thing.
19.
Also, let me set up the scene on D&D Beyond.
You mean
You guys are like there and
you mean
there.
Owlbear.
Yeah, on Owlbear. You are correct. So let's see. Let me.
Don't forget it all has to take place in that one corner.
Yeah. So let me set up some lines to kind of show the parts of the basement. So first of all, here is kind of the back wall. It's like, that's really hard to see actually. Let me use a more visible color. Like that, I guess. It's like there and to about there. And then this is the line of like the cell wall. It's like here. And everything past that is where the creature is. Let me pick up a thing for it. Bigger than that. Resize it. And let me put another marking in for where the door is. So the steps are back like here. So that's where the steps start. So you can't like go there. And the door is yeah, there. And our boy, the butcher, is standing over here. Okay, so you rolled what, like an 18? Was that what you said, Jeps? 19, okay. Oh, Alastor, 19. What did you roll, Steven?
I rolled a 14. I've literally
Okay.
been rolling nonstop, but my first one was a 14. It's just so fun.
Let's see. Wow, okay.
I just rolled a 20 and then a 19 back to back. I'm on a hot streak. I gotta save it.
And then let me roll one for that thing. Fittingly, it is at the end of a turn order.
Perfect.
Okay, so first up is actually the butcher. He
Really?
has very high dexterity and rolled like a 17 plus 5 for his initiative roll. So he is going first, but what are the conditions of your frighten? What all is he not allowed to do under its effects?
One second, let me pull it up. Blah, 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 blah.
If it doesn't mention anything, I'll just look up the normal frightened condition and see what that is.
Yeah, it's just the normal frightened condition. What's that?
Okay.
I can look at conditions right here and tell you though.
Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. Okay. So he's pretty much stuck in the corner due to your positioning.
Mhm.
So the best he can do is make attack rolls with disadvantage. So he is going to fire off a shot from his fucking blunderbuss at the nearest target. Let me look how blunderbusses work. They have weird rules.
Oh boy.
So
While you're doing that, nothing beats a good like boiled peanut from the mountains.
yes. So he is going to fire at Alimor because Alimor is just a bit closer and it's a shotgun, so
I'm
it's not
not
very good at a
supposed to be.
distance.
Yeah, no. I was supposed to be closer.
Yeah, that does make sense. So
Let's-
you
let's go
move
fix
the
that.
things to be a little closer. So you were, yeah, that makes sense. So he'll fire at Alastor instead because he's now right up on top of him, and so that'll be this. Does a 21 hit?
No. Yeah, so 21 hits.
Okay. So then, oh wait, I didn't roll with disadvantage actually, so let me re-roll it. He rolled a 22 again, so this does it, and you're gonna take 19 piercing damage as he fires off a very cleanly placed shot from his blunderbuss, despite being pretty terrified of you and your transformation.
19.
And
You said 19, correct?
yes, and
Right.
he is going to use his adept marksman feature to make you make a Constitution saving throw, DC 16.
I'd like to see him try.
So yeah, go ahead and make it.
21.
Yep, so you make it, so you do not suffer the ill effects of his dazing shot. So, let's see. That should be about all he does for his first turn. But he does, as he's kind of gritting his teeth, firing the shotgun at you, it awakens the boar who had kind of been sleeping off over on top of its pile of meat, and it, roused by the sound, begins to thrash. So we'll see what it does on its turn. But now that his turn is over, it is your turn, Alastor.
All right, I'm going to look at him, draw my blade, and basically just yell as loud as I can. You dare to attack the Angel of Death? You did not know the meaning of fear before. I'll show you now. And I'm gonna... First thing I'm gonna do is I am going to do Hunter's Mark before I forget about... Actually, no. Yeah. Actually, I am gonna do Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same amount of damage, so that is going to be cast there. So that is that, and I'm choosing him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna whack him with my longsword, both hands, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, and I'm gonna throw down a smite just for shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be an additional D, or that's an additional 2d8. So let me go that. That is the end of my first level spell slots. All right, so that is 1d10 plus 6 plus 2d8 plus 1d6. So that is going to be 15.
Mm-hmm.
Then 1d6. 21. 22. 25 damage.
Okie dokie. Charted it. Yes, you strike a pretty nasty blow against him with your sword.
And 3 of it is necrotic, if that
Okay.
makes any difference.
Yeah, so he doesn't have any vulnerabilities or defenses, so damage type should not be too important from what you can tell.
Sounds Gucci. How's he looking? Is he looking good? Looking bad?
He's not looking great, but he's not bloodied.
All right, take him out, Steven.
Oh boy. So, for my spiritual weapon, can I summon it as a bonus action but not attack with it?
No, when you summon it, you do get to make an attack with it.
Yeah, but I want to do something else by action, so I was hoping I could summon it as my bonus action, just have it out. But
Yeah, but it doesn't take your action to make it attack. You use a bonus action to summon it and make it attack, or on subsequent turns, move it and make it
because
attack.
it is just straight up a bonus action. Okay. Then I am going to do. Where to go? I'm gonna cast Twilight Sanctuary.
Mhm.
So it's basically a sphere of dim light around me for 30 feet with a 30 feet radius. The sphere moves with me and it lasts for 1 minute or until I'm incapacitated or die. Whenever a creature ends its turn in the sphere, I can grant it a benefit.
Yes, you can choose not to for enemy creatures. Make sense?
I can either grant it 1d6 plus 6 temporary hit points or end charmed or frightened on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dillon, you took 19 damage in the first round.
I did.
I'm doing this to keep us alive since there's only 2 of us. So okay, I want to cast that and then use a bonus action to get my whatchamacallit out.
What are you doing?
My
How
spiritual
many hit
weapon.
points do I get?
None yet, but it's
None
1d6
until your
plus
turn
6.
comes back
You have
around.
to end your turn in it and you win first. So then I want to get my spiritual weapon out and can I do that thing I was talking about earlier where I leave it right in front of him so anytime he moves, he takes damage? Or is that like no?
I mean, he could theoretically, I guess. I'd let him it'd basically be the effect of taking one attack roll if he tried to move. I guess it's not really in the rules as to how that would work. I feel like there'd have to be some way that he could move around it because he isn't like directly pinned in the corner. He's in like a 5-foot area of the corner now because of like how the cube system works.
You're right. I was thinking when he was in the corner, it'd be the perfect time to basically instill like threatening, like you can't move.
Yeah, right before combat started, if you had done that before things had escalated, he definitely would have been pinned against the wall. But once he felt kind of threatened
He
by
got a little ground. Okay.
you guys, he pushed out of the corner a little bit, recognizing that it was a bad place to be.
All right. Well, that's a 26 to hit.
All right, that'll definitely hit, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's only 1d8 plus 4. That's 9 damage.
Solid roll. Okay, so yeah, you do a nice little chunk of damage to him with your spiritual weapon, which, as we've said, is like Alucard's cool floating short swords thing from Castlevania.
Absolutely.
So you take a nice little slice at him with it, and presumably give yourself bonus hit points or temp hit points
Yes, I
using
am
your
going
Twilight
to give.
Sanctuary.
So I need to roll a d6. That is 1. So it's 1d6 plus
1 plus
6.
6. Yeah, so it would be 7, right?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so you get 7 temp HP. I think you can chart that if you click on your hit points things. You can put on temp HP in D&D Beyond. And
Yeah, I just did that. Perfect.
okie dokie. So now it is the boar's turn, and it having been roused from its slumber by Alastor's yell, by the shotgun firing off, by a lot of stuff, it has been roused and kind of stirred into a frenzy, and it is going to charge forward and attempt to break through these bars that are holding it. So it's gonna make a strength check to attempt to break them. So it moves up to here, and we'll see if it can get any further than that or if it is stuck.
Oh boy.
What's its strength? It's that. So
I'm assuming this thing is pretty strong.
it is quite strong. And it rolled a freaking 22 on its strength check.
Oh.
So it is able to slam into these bars hard enough to kind of bend and push them out of their sockets basically. So 2 of the bars fall over, and it won't be able to move further than this on this round, so it won't get any attacks in yet, but it is moved forward and is now going to be able to squeeze out from its cell on its next turn. So that is the end of its turn, bringing us back to the top. It is Devin's turn again, which is the name of the butcher. We never ended up having too peaceful enough of a conversation for you guys to ask about it, but that's what his name is. So he's no longer frightened by your the thing, right? The what's it called? Your
Let me check.
frightened effect?
I think it ends at the end of this turn.
Oh yeah, end of your next turn, right? Or
Yeah, it's the end of this turn.
okay. So then he is going to expend a grit point to do Deadeye Shot, which allows him to gain advantage on an attack roll, which will cancel out his disadvantage. And he is gonna take this shot at... He's gonna, let's see... Man, I have so many tabs open. He's gonna shift over here so we can get a shot onto Alimor. Oh, no. Noticing that Alimor is casting a pretty powerful-looking, a sanctuary thing. He doesn't want you guys having protection. So he will roll, and I assume a 28 hits.
Yes.
Okay, so then he's going to roll this.
What's the hit DC on that weapon?
He has plus 10 to hit because
Holy
he has,
crap knuckles.
Because he's a character sheet rather than a monster, and he's built to be good at shooting a gun. So you take 15 piercing damage, and he does have extra attack, but he has to use the extra attack actually to reload the blunderbuss because it is a firearm with a reload of 1. But he is going to use Action Surge to take an additional action on his turn after reloading his blunderbuss, and then he is going to fire another shot, this time at Alastor again. He's just kind of firing wildly at whoever he can get a better shot on, he thinks. Does a 19 hit?
I won.
All right, he fires off another shot, this time doing 13 piercing damage to you, and he's going to use his bonus action to use Second Wind to regain some HP. Let's see how much.
Crap, dude.
Dillon, we
What is
don't.
the challenge rating on this dude?
Well, he's a character. So
What
he's
level?
level 7. He was a former adventurer before he met his wife and settled down. She lured him away from the life of hardship he knew before, but he regains 12 hit points from his second one. But he can only use that once, so you've gotten out his healing ability.
How
That
much
is
did
the
you
end of his
damage
turn.
me?
I think he did 15 to you and then 13 to Dillon.
Gross.
But the action surge is once per short or long rest, so that's the most, he basically dropped all of his stuff this turn to try and make sure that he did it before he died, because he gets the feeling he won't last that much longer with either of you in combat. And he wants to give his all.
I hope that's the case.
It's the end of his turn and the start of Alastor's turn.
So he's like facing me, right?
Yeah, he finished firing at you, so yes, he would be facing you right now.
I can do a bonus action, and what's that? Let me check. Uh, So I am going to use a bonus action to change my hunter's mark.
Okay, so you're moving it.
Yeah, I'm moving it to the hog.
Okay.
And then can I just hold my main action?
Sure. What's the condition you're holding it for?
I'm just gonna wait until that thing gets out.
Okay. So I mean, if you held it with like your crossbow, you could shoot at it, but unless it like moves into your range of attack, your held action will probably be wasted because it'll get back to your next turn before it's going to be within range of you.
That's fair. In that case,
I will say you don't really need to be worried about attacks of opportunity from this guy because he doesn't have a melee weapon in hand.
let me measure something real quick. So, can I see to right there?
Not entirely. You could probably see like cut it from corner to corner, like opposite corner to opposite corner. You can see like the left triangle of that square cut.
Okay. I basically just want to look at Alimor and go, "We need to leave now." Because that pig's so big, there's no way it's getting. Oh, never mind. I already used my bonus action. Can I take back what I used my bonus action to do and use it for something else?
Oh, so what did you use it on before moving your hunter's mark?
Yeah.
Just this one to let you kind of retroactively change your plan.
I'm casting Misty Step to get as close to the steps as I possibly can.
Okay, since you can see half of the square, I'll let you can teleport to that square. Actually, you can see like through kind of the bars onto the stairs themselves. You could probably teleport onto like the second highest step probably.
Right. So I'd like to look down at Alimor after I'm up. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Right now. It's not running away, it's a tactical retreat. There's a difference.
That is fair, because based off the size of the stairs, there's no way this creature can get up them.
That's perfect. So, I mean, we can
Not only
basically
that-
force the fight on the stairs and then engage in a ranged duel.
Well, I
with
mean, here's the
beast.
thing. That creature is 100% rabbit at this point. It does not see allies. We can just kick him down the stairs. He's only got so much ammo.
Do I make you guys charger ammo? No.
That's fair.
That's fair.
But yeah, that's fair.
I can pour my oil on the steps after.
You could do that. That'd be like a Home Alone trick. It'd be really funny. But no, that seems like a pretty solid plan. I mean, you're getting away from one of the more deadly enemies, and I think it is a pretty astute observation that this thing's not going to distinguish from its husband or not, so it could very well just end up attacking him.
You know, so I look at Steven. We are leaving.
Yeah, we'll come back and kill it once it's killed him, maybe. You know?
Exactly.
So I've got an idea that I want to do. So so I can use an action, a bonus action, and still move, right?
Yeah. You get your 30 feet of movement, or however much your character has by default, without... Yeah, you don't have to pay anything for it. Every turn.
So I want to cast Moonbeam at 3rd level on the beast right now.
We're inside.
Doesn't
Oh yeah,
matter.
can Moonbeam only hit from, like... I guess just read the spell.
If I'm not mistaken.
A silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. There's nothing that says
I guess, do you need
Inside
to
or
be able to
outside?
fit the whole cylinder into the room? I guess I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up if you can cast Moonbeam indoors. Um. Yeah, it doesn't seem like, compared to like the lightning bolt spell, that one where you like cause a storm to appear overhead and lightning to crack down, that one has like in text specification that it needs to be cast where there's enough vertical height for the cloud to be. That doesn't specify, so you can definitely just cast it in this room, in my opinion. And it
Great.
doesn't need to be 40 feet tall in order to be able to be cast.
Then I want to cast Moonbeam at 3rd level, which is going to be a
Okay.
Constitution save throw of 15.
Alrighty. Does it do it on its turn, or when you do it now, or both?
So I'm going to do it now. Well, I've got to make sure I can do all of this at once. I'm also going to use Meta Magic Twin Spell to
Wait,
make my.
take Meta Magic Adept?
I think so.
That's cool.
Uh, and basically make my sword attack 2 folks. The first one being the boar, but instead of attacking the second one, I want it to appear, like land and appear as if it's in his hand.
Now I've played a sorcerer, and I know the text for twin spell. It has to be a spell that targets exactly one creature. And spiritual weapon doesn't target any creatures because you summon a weapon that then targets creatures.
Technically, one could argue that the action of making the attack is targeting one creature. It's just a
Yeah,
creature.
but it isn't part of the spell cast. It's part of
Okay.
what the spell does after it.
If you say then that's okay. I'm okay with that not working.
I'm
Because
not.
I can still move it after.
Just because you don't understand how the D&D rules work, chaps, doesn't mean we all have to play like that.
Dang. Um. Okay. On it. Okay, then I'll just do the moonbeam on him, and then I think I can.
Borge?
Can I still move the weapon after?
Yeah, because it's well, yeah,
Okay.
definitely,
So
because it's still just a bonus action. Only one of them's a concentration spell. Spiritual
okay,
weapon doesn't require it, so yeah.
moonbeam on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then spiritual weapon attack him and move to look like it's his weapon. And then
Well,
run
I think
away.
it has to be move then attack. I don't think you can move then attack then move because it's currently by the
Okay.
butcher. So if
You're
you move it,
right.
then it can't attack
You're
and then move again.
right.
Unfortunately.
Yep, you're right. Okay. Then
No, actually, I
regardless.
like the idea enough though, but I'm just gonna let it work. Like it's just like it doesn't give too much extra mechanical power. It's just cool flavor to make the beast think that it was harmed by him. So that's what you're trying to do.
That is exactly what I'm trying to do, yeah. And then I'm going to use my movement to get up on the stairs.
Okie dokie, sounds cool. So yeah, make
So
an attack roll against the beast, and if it needs to make any saving throws for Moonbeam right now, let me know, and I'll
it's
have it make
a Constitution save of 15.
Okie dokie. It rolled a dirty 20, so it'll pass, but that's half damage, right?
Now, it does also say if it is a shape changer, which I know we were kind of unclear with that. You may be clear, but I'm unclear. It would
Yeah,
roll
no.
with disadvantage.
It
okay.
is, it's not the shape changer type, but it definitely is a creature that has changed shape. It's just kind of a weird, it isn't the creature type, so it doesn't have the disadvantage.
It's like the little girl from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, basically. She got transformed into a creature. It's just a little less ugly than this one.
Well, it took 6 damage.
All right.
Um,
Mark
and
that
then
down.
I rolled another 26 to hit.
I was about to say the same thing, Kira. Ah, that ought to hurt a few people's hearts.
Ed, word. It's so sad, bro. That is genuinely emotionally crushing. Ed. God damn, bro. Tragic. Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Just genuinely fucked me up.
Tune in next week to see how the dice room got canceled.
Yeah.
So then if this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, I could move here.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
We'll say just Alastor like turns sideways to give you some room to,
Yeah.
to slide by him. Because
I
I don't
mean, yeah,
intend for
because
because I don't intend for those stairs to be like, oh, you can't get past another person just like based off of the weird D&D movement rules. So
Okay.
I feel like you could slide past each other.
well, I mean, I was planning on like getting behind him to pour the oil down the stairs, anyways.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You know what I could do? Since we've established that we don't like both of these guys, I could just pour the oil out and then light it up.
You could. At this point, things have already come to violence. It wouldn't be that much of an escalation, I suppose.
So is this? I know you said that this is like very London-y. Like,
Kind of, yeah. I
because a
mean,
lot of
it's
it's
very gothic architecture, kind of a mix of London and then like a weird like Prague type city.
is the, and I don't want you to change this just because I'm asking, just to kind of. I don't want to speed run this encounter at all, but this is just something Alistair would do. Are the buildings connected?
No, there's like alleys between the buildings. If a building went
Okay.
up, like, and also based off the amount of stone in here, you think this room would probably catch a bit of fire, but it wouldn't probably like burn the entire building to the ground super duper fast or anything. But it would make this place pretty uninhabitable, and the pig can't exactly get out.
Oh man. Yeah. No. I mean, the thing that would cause the most damage is just the structural collapse on top of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. That I have my next turn.
Okie dokie. So is Steven ended his turn then?
And I would like to roll my 1d6 plus 6.
Oh yeah, I don't think Alastor took. Did you get your temp HP from when the end of your turn?
No, I didn't. But this combat encounter is about to be over, so.
Just roll it anyway, just in case you get hit more or something.
I only rolled a
1d6 plus
2.
6. Jeez, unlucky. Also, you can only have one source of temp HP at once, so you can't like stack the various instances of it. So you need to like take damage before you can get more hit points from it.
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay, so it still works fine. You're fine. Just
That's good to
making
know, though,
sure.
'cause I was
It's
definitely
another
gonna keep-
weird rule application.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, because there's some weird shit you can do otherwise, where you stack like 5 million sources of temp HP to become like super duper unkillable. So I guess that's just how they dealt with it. But okay. So there's
guess
a moon
7.
beam. So you get 7 temp HP. Nice. And so if it's the end of Steven's turn, then it's the boar's turn. And it's gonna, noticing that it has been attacked and there's now a spiritual weapon that resembles the weapon that just like slashed it. It's gonna. Oh wait, did you ever make the attack roll for a spiritual weapon to like hit it with it?
I don't think I actually did. That's.
I just do it real quick.
8.
Because like you said, you did it and you moved the weapon. So.
Yeah, that's 8 damage.
Well, did you roll to hit with it?
Oh, that was a 26 again.
Okay, I
I
thought
rolled
it's
another 19.
8 damage. I'll mark that
My
down.
attack rolls are fantastic, or my hit rolls. My attack rolls and everything else are not great.
Yeah, your damage dice have been not super hot. So it's the boar's turn, and it's going to charge at the guy, the butcher. I have so many tabs. There we go. And it runs up on him, gets like here-ish, and then it's going to like basically rear up and slam down on him. And it's going to make an attack roll, which hits by a hair and does some big damage to him. This, boom, that. Okay, so it does a pretty sizable amount of health to him as it just rears up and slams its full weight down onto the poor dude, who's kind of at this point he looks, obviously in very, very great pain physically, but mentally, like, he's kind of just at peace with what's about to happen. He knows he can't really stop it anymore, and he's just kind of happy to pass on into the next world with his wife by his side at the very least. Okay, so that's the end. Oh wait, the board does get 2 attacks, so it'll attack again. That one will also hit. Roll damage again. That's 15. He is way, way, way past bloodied at this point. He's like laying on his back and just getting slammed again as the creature continues to pound away at him. He is not long for this world anymore. but it is the end of the boar's turn, and we're back to the top. It's his turn. He's gonna do literally nothing. He's just gonna lay there and basically take it. He's given up. So his turn ends immediately, and it goes on to Alastor's turn.
All right. As Alimor like starts going up the stairs, I'm going to now draw a little line here. But I am going to essentially. So I'll use white for the oil, but I am essentially going to just like drizzle it back and forth all the way up the stairs.
You're basically running up the stairs as you drizzle it.
Yeah, I was gonna draw first and then.
Yeah, that's fine. Just making sure that's what the plan was.
And then I'm going to hold my main action, or hold whatever action I need to light up, to use a torch to light up the oil as soon as Alimor
Until Alimor gets up. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if that is your turn, then we're all good. We'll move on to Alimor's turn.
Okay. I can use an action to move Moonbeam.
Mm-hmm. So do you move it to hit just the beast, and the butcher? Because I think you could fit both of them in. Like, is it everything within that 5-foot area, basically, like all the tiles, or is it just the 5-foot area?
It's a 5-foot radius. So I could absolutely. That means I'd made this square way too small.
Yeah, so it's half as big across as it should be.
Yeah, so it should be more like that.
Yeah, it should be like a 2x2 square.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can hit both of them with it, so they both make con saves.
Of 15.
This one is the pig's, and it fails. This one is Devin's, and he succeeds.
So do you want me to roll damage for both of them? Or just one?
Roll the same dice, and it applies to both of them. And then it'll just have it for the person who succeeded.
Oh, I saw a 0, and I'm like, there's no way I rolled a 0.
Yeah, it's a 10. It's so deceiving.
So that's 19 damage. And then I guess half is 9.
Yeah, so he is actually on 2 HP. So he is just on the very brink of death, but still managing to hold on as if he wants to stay by his wife's side a little longer, as he knows that this is almost certainly the end for her. She takes the brunt of the... So it was 19, right?
Yes.
I suck at math. Let me just do it on Google. She takes the brunt of the damage from this beam of moonlight coming down and lets out, more squeals of pain. Do you want to move?
Yes. I want to use my bonus action, though, to attack the hog with my sword.
Okie dokie, that's a spiritual weapon.
Is a 23 to hit.
Hit it again, yeah.
And a 9 damage.
Okie dokie, I'll chart that down.
And then...
The beast is bloodied.
I would like to move up on this side of Alastor.
All right, so once you cross the threshold and pass Alastor up onto the main floor again, his readied action will trigger, and he will ignite the chain of the little trail of oil he left going up the stairs, which will weave down the steps and pretty easily set fire to the kind of old wooden... It's kind of this dry, old, unfurnished wood, and it lights pretty well. So the stairs are pretty immediately consumed in fire and are going to be pretty much untraversable. The building hasn't caught that much fire yet, but in a few minutes it likely will.
All right. We just need to sprint out. I mean,
yeah. So yeah, basically, I'd consider combat over at this point.
Yeah.
Because the only guy who can get out of the basement is stuck down there on 2 HP and is going to die before he can escape. And the pig can't get out, so it's gonna become bacon, I guess. So
we'll come back later.
Yeah, you guys escape the butcher shop without too much difficulty. The fire is not spreading at a fast enough rate to threaten you too badly. So you get out, and you get out from the shop, and it's as kind of the sun is cresting the horizon, morning is finally coming, dawn is upon everybody, as this building begins to slowly catch greater and greater amounts of fire.
God, I need a stiff drink and a bed to sleep in.
Yeah, so you all... Oh, wait, actually, for something later on in the story, it can't be morning yet, as cool as that scene would be. So it's... You guys set out kind of early in the night, so it's probably around 3 a.m. right now. But, presumably you all head back to,
Were we
where...
tasked with doing anything about bringing in proof of the beast or anything?
I think the inferno of the butcher shop is gonna be enough. I mean, they
Yeah.
said it was in the basement, so
Yeah, they usually like some proof of a job done, but a burnt down building containing a beast that is now charred and incinerated is plenty sign enough that you have taken care of the job.
I'm gonna go ahead and use all of my lay on hands pool. Or no, Steven, how many hit points did you lose?
Of actual 8.
8? Okay, I'm gonna use all but 8 of my lay on hands pool on myself. So that is going to heal me back up 22.
Okay, so let's just try and get a move on real quick. We need to
Yeah, no, I heal Steven back up to full.
because I did not expect this to take quite so long. I kind of forgot to factor in the old 15-minute break, and we did not get back to playing quite as fast as we probably should have. Partially
All
my
right.
fault, of course. I love the banter too much. So yeah, you guys presumably head back to the gathering house where you had been given the job, and surprisingly, you go to pull on the door handle to enter, and it is locked.
Let me in.
So yeah, you knock at it for a while, and like about a minute after you start knocking, there's like one of those little like sliding things at the eye level for people to like look and see who's at the door, and it slides open, and you see
That's
a familiar
actually
pair.
that's exactly where I was knocking. So like as soon as it slides open, it's just straight in the face for one. Oh, I'm sorry.
My fault, my fault.
Mhm.
But you see a familiar pair of blue eyes. You recognize them to be the eyes of Captain Wagner, but now they are wide with fear and concern. And he says in a hushed tone through the door, "What are you all doing out right now? Did you not hear about the news?"
About the fire, because we did that. That was, I'm not gonna lie, that one was on us.
No. We can talk about that in a minute. Just get inside, get inside. And you can hear him kind of unbolting a series of locks on the door as he opens it up to let you guys back in.
Yep. Right.
And he hurries you guys to sit down at a table. It seems like the other hunters who were kind of chilling at tables in here have either cleared out to somewhere else or have gone to bed for the night, because this place does offer like a hotel service to hunters. They can rest here if need be. But so it's just you and Wagner, and he sits down and kind of, head like this, just thinking, kind of muttering to himself. And he says, "Oh, it's a good thing you came when you did. The streets are not safe right now. Gascoigne has turned. He's
That's cool.
you all are new here, so you likely don't know of him. He is the greatest hunter in this section of the city. The father, Gascoigne. He was an outsider like yourself, but he came here around 15 years ago and rapidly established a career for himself as a prolific hunter. There are practically no men in the whole city with a higher beast kill count than him, but he's succumbed to a particular breed of the blood that can seize people, the effects it has on people. Hunters in particular are known for occasionally falling to the hunter's delirium. The stresses of the hunt combined with imbibing the blood seem to occasionally spark a paranoid delusion in people. They cease to be able to distinguish friend from foe, as the whole world is drowned in blood and from their point of view. They are entirely unable to distinguish who is who any longer. Everyone is a beast now. He's apparently been roaming the streets all night, just killing and killing everyone he's found, carving a path of violence across the city. It's very fortunate you did not happen upon him.
Very fortunate for him that he didn't happen upon us.
This is no time for joking. He is He is beyond anything I've ever seen as a hunter goes. He would take on dozens and dozens of beasts all alone with naught but his axe and blunderbuss in hand.
Oh,
It was
yep,
a
no,
month,
never mind. Don't mess with the blunderbuss.
but
That's cheating.
I'm just surprised. I never figured that he of all people would turn. He was so quiet, hardy but soft. He had this kind of stern, melancholic presence about him, you know? He dispatched the beasts with a quiet yet dutiful commitment. I, I didn't know what was plaguing him so much to drive him to this level of madness. He and he kind of thinks for a moment as he processes, because I was never too close to Gascoigne. He tended to keep most other hunters at arm's length. It seemed like him, his close friend Henrique, and his wife were the only people he particularly cared to speak to much. But, Henrique was, put to the stake for heresy a few years ago. I have to imagine that's what's began to spark Gascoigne's downfall. Not to mention, I think I heard his wife was committed a few years ago. It must have taken a toll on him, more than he could bear. But you all look roughed up. How did your job go?
So we don't exactly have a trophy from it, but we can prove that it's dead. It just, if I were you, I'd wait a day or two to check.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. You've felled great beasts. I have no doubt that if there was a creature out there, you were almost certainly able to take care of it.
Exactly. I
I'll
killed a cleric beast in a single strike.
Yes. So
Just take some barbecue sauce.
once we have the all clear that Gascoigne is no longer out, usually people afflicted by the hunter's delirium begin to become creatures of the night, so to speak. During the night, they come out on the streets and maim anyone they see, but during the day, they seem to seclude themselves and take to hiding as they wait for the moon to rise again. But, he is currently out doing God knows what, killing God knows how many people. If we were in any condition to fight him, I'd send us out there, but I believe we'd do nothing but add to his kill count at this point. Oh, Caleb. Yeah, so he basically is encouraging you guys to just wait in for the night, hold out, kind of take watch and defend the place in case Gascoigne shows up to attack, but
Long rest time.
yeah. But yeah, nobody is in any shape to go out and fight him right now.
Yeah. Long rest?
Yes, long rest.
Yay. Oh. God, that feels better. Dude, I of course, is the bar still open?
They don't really operate a bar in here.
Ah, dang. Okay. So he couldn't do his nightly ritual then.
Yeah. Unless he kept any on him, just like on his
He
person.
he only ever buys it from bar to bar.
Okay. So, yeah, you're unable to accomplish your nightly ritual on this evening, but you guys can kind of take watch without interrupting the long rest, just everybody kind of taking shifts, keeping an eye on the door to make sure nobody comes to ask to be let in or, no beasts come scratching at it. So, the night passes in kind of a hushed, uncomfortable quiet. Nothing too bad happens, but every minute you're wondering if something is going to, knock down that door and come looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear kind of distant screams echoing throughout the city. But, Wagner can't get a lick of sleep the whole night. It seems he's too taken aback by the situation to even be able to rest. But, as you guys rise in the morning, he, he's still sitting in the gathering house main room and is like, oh, yes, I forgot before you all went to bed. This is special circumstances, so I suppose my honor to proclaim you all officially sanctioned hunters. Here are your emblems, and I have to ask that you give your hunting group a name.
Ooh, this is a tough decision. That I think maybe we should bring in someone else. to help us make this decision. Don't you, Davis?
I can't do it right now. This isn't when I had planned it.
Oh,
I guess
never
actually
mind.
you can hear a knock at the door
Well,
potentially.
no. If this isn't when you planned it, then this isn't when you planned it. It's
This
just
isn't just
9:45.
yeah. This is probably as good of a moment as we're gonna get. So you hear a solitary knock at the door in the middle of the night, and at the door, Wagner goes up and slides open the eye slit, and who is it but
Steven, if you will.
This guy.
So describe who he sees on the other side. Captain
Was it-
Wagner speaks in a hushed tone. Hello, you must not know what's going on out here. Who are you?
Everyone I know just calls me Hadozee.
Hadozee.
Well then, just come on inside. We can't have you out here during the night. There are things out there, okay? So he kind of unchains the door and lets you into this kind of outpost building, the Hunter's Gathering House, where, the hunters gather and shit. But, so in there, you find two dudes sitting at a table, dudes being dudes, chilling like villains. One of them, Alastor, go ahead and describe your character to him.
Alastor is a what's that? Let me see how tall he is. He's got white hair. Sorry, where on earth? A description. Here it is. It's a whole tab. He is 6'4", age 36. He has white hair, with a few small scars across his face. His eyes have gold irises. But other than that, he looks, albeit very handsome for a human. Though he is an Asimov.
Yeah. And then we also have our cleric, Alimor. Go ahead and describe yourself as you see fit. He's let me clean up all the stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I was working on that.
I'm like a Hadozee, just under a little cloak, got really thick gray fur, got like a black mullet on the back of my head, got a lot of scars everywhere just from living in the woods. So
Yeah, apparently they can't hear you on stream, so we might have to have you repeat that in a second.
Hold
Let's
up.
see. Stream cannot hear him. Oh, so stream can't hear Steven. Oh, it's okay. So you can hear
that's
Caleb.
embarrassing.
Well, at least they can hear you. But
Oh,
sucks for Steven.
I had my thing muted because I was doing something. Okay.
Oh, geez. I wonder how much total Steven time we've lost this stream.
No, I've been doing it back a lot. Like, I just was doing something a couple seconds ago, and my chair is
Okay.
very squeaky.
Okay, so you have like push to talk on basically, so you can control when you're talking, or
Yeah, so because I've got a ton of feedback, like there's no filtering on this mic through OBS, I just mute it every time I'm not talking.
oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we only lost the recent description. So yeah.
Yeah.
You encounter this kind of monkey-like man in a with this gray fur, clad in a cloak, and I guess acquaint yourselves as you see fit. Wagner's kind of pacing the room, thinking about what he plans to do in the morning to kind of spread the news about Gascoigne's turning.
So what are y'all? Sorry. What are y'all doing in the city?
I'm looking for a means to an end.
Sounds suspicious.
Simply put, I'm looking to become the man my wife would have been proud of.
Respectable, man. Respectable.
Way to
right
get
there.
deep. I hardly even know you.
I
Well,
I
how do you-
find that he does that a lot.
don't really know you like that,
I was
bro.
about to say, listen, one of the beautiful things of being a father to every man I encounter.
You're not my father.
I'm older than you. I get to claim it.
Fathership status.
It
I mean,
is-
it's entirely possible I never met my father.
well, listen. Oh,
Something tells me he didn't father a chimpanzee.
Oh Jesus! Racial arguments already.
not gonna go there. If it
Wagner
means I can make you a better
stops his pacing
man,
from. No, this is no time for conflict. We all need to be together on this. What if Gascoigne knocks down that door right now, axe in hand, ready to gut all of us? We need to be ready to stand together. Okay?
if I can help
Oh,
make
by
you
the
a
way,
better man. Oh, sorry.
I forgot to mention he's like 5'4", so he's just a little
Little
short little
monkey,
dude.
just a little monkey man.
Nice.
You know, Alastor's looking at this Hadozee, which is a whole foot shorter than him.
Hey, it makes it
Yeah.
better for him to sneak into tight spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
All kinds of advantages.
He's just a silly little guy.
He is a silly little guy. But
Yeah.
eventually morning rises over the sun rising over the hills and breaking the city skyline, which signals that Gascoigne, who has turned into some type of monster, be it, just through delusion or perhaps transforming, he has, no longer seeing his humanity. But he's receded into the dark for now, hiding in the shadows. So it seems like the streets will once again be safe, at least for a little while.
So, Alimor, I've been thinking about this whole team name thing. You're an Aasimar. And I'm an Aasimar. And I'm assuming that Wagner is putting Hadozee with us.
Well, yeah, Wagner's like, that's actually a small problem I had been planning to bypass. Normally, regulation requires that a hunter group has 3 members minimum. Hadozee here, do you have any objection? You don't need to help them or anything. You basically just need to sign off on this charter saying that you're a member of their group. From that, you don't really oblige to anything, but
I'm in the city searching for my best friend Baloo. He was stolen from me. I have no leads, so anything that can get me around the city, I'll take. You
certainly.
guys clearly know this place better than I do.
Yes, if you're ever looking for anything, the best way to find it would likely be to get in with the church, and naturally being a member of a hunter group would be a great first step in that. So, if you all just sign right here and put the name of your hunter group at the bottom, you will have all the official documentation necessary.
So I was thinking, and because you are a Hadozee, I know that you can glide, and therefore it's close enough. How about the Angels of Death? It's an old military name I had, so I figured at the very least I could do was extend the offer to include you in it, and our new friend here.
I'm gonna be honest, I really do not care.
That's fair. Because what is a name? I mean, what is a name to a man with no name? He doesn't care about the name of his group.
He got downhearted every
So-
time that I
Yeah, you guys don't know this yet, but Baloo is an owl bear. So
So
couldn't tell.
I was very worried that it was going to be the dog that we almost killed and brought the skull back, but glad it
No.
wasn't.
And how did the butcher end up with him as his dog? I guess he kidnapped him from this Hadozee.
Basically. So,
Yeah.
while I really like the Angels of Death, I'm not an evil guy, and I don't want to be known for death. I don't think I can sign off on that. But
That is fair.
if we want to do something like, the Game Wardens, that's kind of funny.
Or what about here we go, because let's face it, we're all sinners here. Hell's Angels.
That sounds like copyright infringement.
We could all wear leather jackets.
The Predators.
Avernus's Angels.
The Predators Pact.
I don't actually mind.
I
The
don't mind
Hunter's
that.
Mark.
You need a name. What about Gregory?
Gregory. The name of
Tell
your
you-
hunter group, Gregory.
Tell you what,
We are
Hadozee,
all
that can,
collectively known as Gregory.
that can be your new name, Hadozee.
What do you mean?
Hadozee, that's not a name. That's just what your race is.
That's what everyone calls me.
Yeah, they're being racist. That's not a good. It's you remember that thing that I did when you first walked in last night. Also, I apologize. I had just been shot early in the day, so it was bad. It
You
was an
did
off
get got
time.
shot with a shotgun twice.
Point blank.
But so
Ugh.
yeah, if what I did last night that felt really wrong for some reason, and I apologize for it deeply. That was bad, and that's what they're doing.
But he's reclaiming it, he's making it his own. Like,
Wait, if Hadozee's a race, are you telling me there's other people like me?
Yes, I've met a few.
yeah, Captain Ware's like, they aren't exceptionally common, other than I believe on a particular island to the southwest of here, far off, out in the ocean.
What?
But
That was a good crusade.
a Church of Tyr takes on Monkey Island.
Oh my god. How did I not make the connection? Either we'll figure out your name later, but I did rather like your suggestion, Alimor.
The Predator's Pact. I've got
Predator's
9
Pact.
others. It's weird. I just had something
Just
randomly
cooking 'em up.
generate them for me.
Oh, okay. Predator's Pact is pretty cool. I dig that because
Yeah.
you guys have definitely felled some pretty foul creatures already.
And it like
Mhm.
shows we're
I like
competent.
Apex
Gregory.
predators. Gregory's pretty cool too. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I just worry
Also, by
that
the way, he's
Gregory
just
Go
Hadozee's
ahead.
just hoarse like all the time because he never talks. So this is the most talking he's done pretty much all of life. Just so you know.
because he solves all his problems with action.
No, he just lives in the woods. Like he doesn't know people.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
So are we going with Predator's Pact?
I think Predator's Pact is a good one.
Awesome.
All right, so Wagner is like, all right, if you're sure, and he starts writing down the Predator's Pact as the name of your hunting group at the bottom of your contract, and then says, all right, with all this taken care of, then I can give you these, and he provides each of you a hunter's emblem, which you can basically present to certain people, like, random civilians, to kind of give yourself a greater air of authority in their eyes to help kind of sway them. Depends on the person, of course. Some people hate hunters, some people revere hunters. It's kind of something you'll have to feel out about each individual person. But he says, and as a hunter, my first assignment or request for you is just to head down to the Church of Isolus, report on what you've seen, and like what I'm like. Just tell me what's going on down there, all right? Because I imagine the relief effort for anyone who's been attacked is likely being concentrated there, and I want to make sure that the bishop is in good health and is all right.
Wagner.
Yes.
We will do that in the next episode. But
Yeah, but he's just passing it along.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing about this ball that is
Yeah.
supposed to be happening soon. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember hearing that you supply the hunters for security for it.
I am one of the many vectors that the Canehurst Consortium uses to supply hunters for security.
I need to ask you a favor, as a friend. I need my squad to be part of that security.
Okay. I'll do my very best, but we've already picked out a lot of the staff. The event is only 2 weeks away, but I can check and see if there are any groups that are having scheduling difficulties, or if there's any I'll look for any reason we might need extra hands on deck, and
I will
I'll
give you 100 gold right now to make sure that we are on that list.
Could you do me a
I
favor?
cannot accept bribes. I am
Could you give me a list of the people that are on the registry?
Now that is a little worrisome, kind of not making me encouraged to put you guys down, but I know you guys mean well. I'll put in a good word for you guys to try and get you added to the guard list, but worst case, you could ask Bishop Regalis I imagine he will have requests for you to help him in some way, to aid in the relief effort. If you are able to get in good with him, every bishop is allowed to bring along a good few guests as a personal entourage.
Good. All right.
I might
Thank
want
you
to become a bishop.
I will try.
so much.
But yes, these two have met the bishop already, the Bishop Regalis.
Okay.
But yeah, it's 10 p.m. So
Yes.
that means we are about done. Sorry, Caleb. This took
No, you're
longer
good,
than I
dude.
expected.
But yes, guys, please welcome our lovely, lovely Hadozee to the Dice Room family. Everyone, welcome. If you want, I know we've said your name a few times, but if you want to introduce yourself just for good measure,
Caleb.
there you go. So
There he is.
so eloquent. But yeah, this wraps it up for this episode of the Dice Room. Make sure that you guys check out the new YouTube. This will be available as a VOD in case you missed a few parts, or if you want to go back and look and start fan theorizing about anything, you can check it out on YouTube. It'll be up in about maybe 4 hours because I'm gonna start the export process as soon as we get off here. Make sure you check out our Discord. Don't worry, we will keep up with the tank counter. We're at what, 43 now? Now that I said it. But yeah, make sure you join the Discord to stay up to date on all Dice Room news. The first season of Hell Hath No Fury is on Spotify right now, so you can catch up on that because we will be back there soon. I'm not at liberty to say exactly when, but soon for sure.
Yeah, we will
once
be wrapping
again,
up the first season of this within a couple sessions.
Exactly. But once again, mark your calendars. November 19th, 2023. 24 hours of a D&D stream. We are sacrificing our mental health to raise money and awareness for men's mental health everywhere. We're partnering with a charity called Into the Dark Blue. Great charity. They're completely nonprofit. Make sure you check them out. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I have anything else. I'm waiting on Steven to get back before we do this outro, because if we don't, it's
We
just gonna
can't
be
turn the stream off.
it's gonna be a really awkward like 2 or 3 minutes of
Just us staring at the camera
of
like
us just staring at a camera. But yeah, I know that I'm excited for the return of Hell Hath No Fury. This next season is gonna be really cool. I've talked to Davis and Steven a little bit about it. Kira, of course, knows about season 2 because she is one of the wonderful, wonderful beta testers. So she's played through it. Caleb is the only one that I think isn't fully in the know about season 2. But let's just say the current name for it is very effectively and very tastefully being called Delving into the Darkness. So that's going to be fun. We've got it now. I will say the beta testers took one of the routes. I'm excited to see which route you guys take because there are two very distinct routes that you guys can take, and I'm running out. I can talk for a really long time, but how interesting it's going to be is going to depend on how
steeply.
Steps, I just want you to know I'm going to do everything possible to make you come up with a third route on the spot. Just to close the other
third route on
people,
the spot.
completely.
Well, I mean, the third would just be to end the world right then and there.
Well, then a fourth option, all of the above.
I mean, technically. No, because your choice is locked off that in the first season.
All of the above. Hooray!
No, you already made a choice that locked it off. Where is Steven? I need him back.
Leave right at the end of the stream.
As a if stream needs to end before I'm back, tell me and I'll have Courtney in the stop stream button. Okay. Okay, Steven is preoccupied, but I'm gonna text him. Give me 10 seconds, and then yeah.
Hey, Davis.
Yeah. Does
Hey,
your
don't
character
you?
speak Celestial?
What did you say?
Does your character speak Celestial?
Sadly, he speaks Hadozee, and I have no idea what that sounds like. So,
Yeah, no, it's just monkey. All right, guys.
is it actually?
That is
I don't know. That's how I
that
get
is
canon.
it for the dice room tonight. We will be back next week, same dice time, same dice room, and until next time, make sure you pass those perception checks. Bye, guys. And now we wave until Steven's girlfriend hits the end stream button.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Someone clip this. I feel like there's a lot of clippable moments in this during this
A
episode.
lot of all this taint talk.
Yeah, I was
Um,
thinking for marketing and stuff, you guys should just, instead of like doing what the TikTok was doing, just like find some funny clips and just like put those up.
That was the plan. Courtney's
Just
still
didn't
not
happen.
back. You gotta. Well, no, because that's what's gonna start happening.
Okay,
Courtney's not
yeah.
back. Courtney hasn't hit end stream yet. Keep waving, Caleb. I gotta switch hands.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired, no lie.
This is a good workout, though.
Go
guys
faster,
wanna-
Steven's girlfriend.
Do you guys want to show the chat your dice? While we wait for Steven.
We already have, but I'll do it again. They're pretty
Oh,
in
yeah.
purple and
Yeah.
silver.
I got the hollow metal.
Oh yeah, them suckers are nice. I remember seeing them when we were playing down in the basement freshman
All right.
year.
I'm actually using metal dice as well. I'm using
my phone.
a nice little black with green writing on it.
Dude.
These dice were supplied to me by the lovely beta testers. I'm done waving.
You know what? This problem actually only. Like,
She's gonna be here in 5.
the solution is this
4.
simple. Check this out.
But now we're gonna have like a few minutes where like absolutely
Hello.
nothing happens.
Yo, he's in the chat.
I left.
He's
I
in
am
the chat.
no longer in the guest star. I'm
He's
Wait,
in
can
the
they hear
wall.
your voice on stream though?
I think so, because I think it's
Yeah,
capturing his desktop audio.
Yeah,
so they
it's
still can
still
hear me.
capturing
Okay.
his desk.
I am
desktop
not
audio.
in the guest star anymore, and the guest star
This
can
is-
bite me.
This is hilarious because this is gonna be a great just great clip at the end. Okay, he said she's on it. He said that 2 minutes ago. Come on, Courtney.
I'm sorry, guys. I've got terrible IBS, and I couldn't fight it any longer. Quote,
They can hear
Steven.
you. They can hear you, Davis.
Yeah, and he deserves to have that aired out for not ending the stream on time.
God.
All right,
really
cool. I'm
don't-
still in here.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave the guest star as well.
Oh yeah, chaps, I gotta show you a picture of my setup, dude. I needed an extra monitor and I didn't have one, so I have like this like really crappy TV hooked up to it. It's kind of funny.
Nice.